good evening, people. Oh, my goodness. Scott McGinnis, what's up, my man? Y'all make sure to check out Scott McGinnis. I couldn't watch it, but Scott McGinnis was on Aussie Insider earlier. I plan on catching the replay on that, so make sure to subscribe to Aussie Insider and check out Scott McGinnis on there. Scott McGinnis is awesome. Scott McGinnis is out there all the time. Like, he's always out there supporting Karen Reed or Turtle Boy or Sandra Birchmore, whatever, anything to shed light on the corruption that's going on in Norfolk County, and he's fantastic at it. Oh my God, Yuri's math teacher just gifted 10 memberships. Holy Jesus. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Yuri's math teacher. So yeah, man. Tonight, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over a couple things that I haven't even gone over yet. I was on vacation when everybody else was going over this stuff, but I'm doing it anyway. I know this is old news to most of y'all, but you know how I like to do. I like to catch up. So I figure those of you who want to hang out with me while I do that, then cool, man. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I have. Here's the thing, though. I have Karen Reed's appellate filing, which I really want to go over, but the thing is like 77 pages long or something like that. I'm not doing that tonight. No, I'm not doing that tonight. But I am gonna go over the Ducky stuff, man. I know Turtle Boy's gone over it. I know that I was in the car with him when it came after it had just come out, and Howie Carr had gone over it. And then I was in the car with Turtle Boy, and then we talked. He talked to Howie Carr while I tried to stop myself from laughing. So. But yeah, we did have a good time. But the thing is, this Ducky thing, it's like they're fucking hell bent on it. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I don't understand it. And people with the Ducky puns, okay, I want to be abundantly clear. The Ducky puns are so welcome. Please shower me with them. I want Ducky pun bukkake. That's what I want. All the Ducky puns. Just shower my face with them. Okay? That's what I want. That's what I want. I love the Ducky puns in the chat, people. Big fan of them. See what I mean? The cornier, the better. Oh, my God. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm never going to get through this shit. So... So we're gonna first, before anything, let's get a conversation starter going on, folks. That's what I'm saying. I say we get a conversation starter going on, folks, because I think NBC 10, I'm gaining a little more faith in NBC 10, bro. I really am. I'm gaining a little more faith in NBC 10, Boston, and I feel like they are. Here's the impression I'm getting about Boston 10, right? The impression I'm getting of Boston 10 is there are reporters that, oh, really? Like, it's like that, Paul? Thank you. Appreciate it. There are reporters, again, and I might end up disappointed here, but there are reporters who seem to want to report the truth, but they have bosses that don't let them. So I don't know. What we're gonna do, we're gonna watch what NBC 10 just dropped. Yeah, Sue O'Connell. I like Sue O'Connell. I really do. I like Sue O'Connell a lot. She seems like she really wants to. I know there was a lot of rumors going around that Proctor was actually terminated. As of yet, that's just not true. But at least They, did some scouring around. Sue O'Connell took it upon herself to tweet that her and a few other reporters worked last night to try to confirm this information and have confirmed that he is still on unpaid leave. He's still under suspension without pay, is a better way to put it. Now let me go ahead and just share that. Let's watch it and see what happens. It's probably going to piss us all off, but let's watch it anyway. And that's not me. Why is there no volume? No volume. Why is there no volume? Can you guys hear? I can't hear anything. No. Okay, that's no good. That's up all the way. Let me refresh. No, nothing. No sound. There's no sound. What the hell, man? Let me check my settings here. Oh, well, I guess we're not going over that because there's no sound. Wait, now there is. The hell is going on with my sound, man? StreamYard is acting stupid. Hold on. Yeah, this thing, like, I test my speakers, testing the speakers on StreamYard. Looks like they work. Hold on. Why is that not coming through on my
headphones?
The Karen
Reed murder trial continues, and we're breaking down.
Okay, that's really annoying. Sorry, guys. I know you can hear it, but it's not coming through on my earphones, and I know my headphones are plugged in. Let's try this again. I know you hear it, and I hear it through my computer. It's just not coming through on my headphones, even though my headphones are connected. So I don't know what's going on. It's StreamYard that's acting up. So let's try this again. Again, why is that doing that? Let me try this. All right, we got it, folks.
7 on NBC. Every new development, from the push to get charges dropped to which officers are facing disciplinary actions. Get caught up on every detail. Canton Confidential, tonight at 7 on NBC 10 Boston.
The results in Manchester speak for themselves.
Shut up.
Tip to the gap on Canton Confidential.
I'm declaring a mistrial in this case.
The fallout continues to rise. State troopers disciplined.
I think it certainly raises a red flag as to whether or not his investigations are done without bias.
New lawsuits filed. Jurors break their silence. And now, a new prosecutor takes the helm.
We, the people and taxpayers, demand transparency and answers.
With John O'Keefe's family still waiting for a verdict, Karen Reed prepares to once again defend herself in court. We get you caught up right now on a special edition of Canton Confidential, the Karen Reed murder trial.
It's been 3 months since a mistrial was declared, and we have a lot of new developments to discuss. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Canton Confidential. I'm JC Monahan.
And I'm Corey Smith. So good to be with you, and it's good to have our legal analysts back with us to guide us through everything that has happened.
But before we unpack the recent fallout, we have to go back to the night that changed so many lives. January 28th, 2022.
To the fullest extent possible, stay off the roads.
With a blizzard in the forecast, Karen Reed and her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, were enjoying a night out before the snow fell.
They started the night at C.F. McCarthy's in Canton before going to the nearby Waterfall Bar, where they met up with friends, some of whom are in law enforcement. When closing time came, the group decided to keep going.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Thomas Autonomous Anonymous, Ewan handle of the day again. Bro, try to interview Bill Burr, Canton High, 1987. Listen, if Bill Burr contacted me, then I'll interview him. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Bill Burr's not contacting me. So that's probably not going to happen. I do my little part though, you know, like I follow Mark Wahlberg on Instagram, and just recently I hashtag like in his comment section, free Karen Reed, free Turtle Boy. I'm trying to get the Boston local celebrities to get some attention on this. But I wouldn't hold my breath.
Officer Brian Albert and his wife Nicole. Hours later, it would be outside that home at 34 Fairview Road where John O'Keefe's body would be found.
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow.
Prosecutors say Reed hit O'Keefe with her SUV and left him to die in the snow. Her attorneys say she's being framed. And the jury, after hearing from 74 witnesses and seeing more than 650 exhibits entered as evidence, remain deeply divided.
The Commonwealth has charged Reed with second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence of alcohol, and leaving the scene of a crash causing death. She is still facing those charges, despite a motion by her attorneys to have 2 of them thrown out.
That motion was denied by Judge Beverly Cannoni, but now the Commonwealth's highest court has agreed to hear Reed's appeal. That's just one of the major developments in the wake of the mistrial that happened in July.
It has been 3 months full of new twists and turns. You may have missed a few headlines, so here's a quick recap to get you caught up. Comes after a mistrial was declared.
Reed's legal team is asking the state's highest court to throw out 2 of the charges against her.
The state's highest court will hear Karen Reed's appeal.
A new prosecutor is leading the case against Karen Reed in her second murder trial.
It will call into question his credibility.
Named in a wrongful death lawsuit by O'Keefe's family members.
They are both related to the Karen Reed trial.
This is the Karen Reed movement. You know, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes the answer is no.
We'll do it next time.
Well, welcome back to the table. Who do we have? NBC Boston legal analyst Michael Coyne and Catherine Loftus, who remind me of the...
Where's Sue O'Connell?
TikTok, YouTube, all social media, a little bit of everything, JC. Note my objection.
Oh, I don't like this already.
See, 3 months off, and the brain just has so much. And there is so much to talk about. Not just that Karen Reed is facing the criminal charges again, but that there's a civil suit also that's been filed. And it's been filed against her before we have a verdict. And that seems unusual. So can you, Michael, will you start?
Yeah,
How
sure.
unusual is it for the O'Keefe family to file that civil lawsuit?
They use CapCut. I love it. CapCut. Fucking Boston 10 and Bullhorn Betty. Bringing you true crime. I love it.
Before we know whether or not criminally she's convicted.
It is unusual because normally the criminal case would proceed very quickly to trial, and so the civil case would be well behind that as a general matter. But you do have occasions, and it's certainly here where we've had a mistrial in the criminal case, where the civil suit and the criminal suit will proceed almost on a parallel tracks.
So we heard from Reed's attorneys that her Fifth Amendment rights could be an issue if the civil trial if the civil case went to trial before the criminal case. Why?
Well, it's an interesting because ultimately she's going to be subject to any deposition in a civil proceeding. And what her attorneys are concerned about is that if she were to undergo a deposition prior to her criminal trial, anything she says obviously can and will be used against her. What they want to do is prevent that, essentially kick the civil litigation until after the criminal trial is over to essentially protect that. What I think the plaintiffs,
which right there explains the motive behind the civil suit and the timing of it. Remember I said I don't believe in coincidences? Remember that? Remember that one time out of like 1,000 times that I said that I don't believe in coincidences, that I don't subscribe to coincidence? Remember that? One of those 1,000 times was in regards to the timing of the civil suit. And we talked about it when it happened, and I thought, well, I don't understand. Like they're suing the waterfall. That doesn't make any sense. But Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I did not miss a super chat. I highlighted it. Thank you, Christine Mitchell. I appreciate it. Cherry just wanted me to show that because of the respect for the UK. Yes, I highlighted it, but I was in the middle of the Free Karen Reed song, so I could not play the super chat song. But yes, thank you, Christine Mitchell. I appreciate it. And I don't mean to sound snarky towards you. I am grateful to you. I'm being snarky towards Cherry. Anyway, thank you, Christine. Anyway, so I said that I did not subscribe to coincidence. I don't believe that this is a coincidence, and I'm trying to understand what the purpose of this was, and how they feel like they could win a civil suit before the second trial even happens. It seems odd, right? It seems odd, like considering what took place in trial. I don't see how you could win the civil suit when you could absolutely say, hey, there's no proof that she hit him. Like more evidence would come out. That like the evidence, remember, we were thinking positively. Remember? We were like, oh, well, I mean, there's nothing to worry about there, because if during the civil suit, there's no gag orders, there's no blocks by Beverly Cannoni, that they could talk about the FBI, they could talk about Josh Levy, they could talk about suspensions and reprimands and internal affairs investigations. They could talk about all this stuff. I don't see how they could possibly win this civil suit. They could talk about the crash daddies and prove that she didn't even hit him. So to me, I'm like, well, I don't understand what they think is going on here. And right here, this explains it, because we tossed around this idea for a second when it first happened. And here she's basically telling you without telling you what the motive of this civil suit is. The way she's explaining it here, she's saying, well, they're concerned with the timing because she'll have to be deposed for this civil suit. So they could take the deposition that she has to, basically they could get a testimony from Karen Reed without putting her on the stand. And they could take anything that she says and they could twist it and use it against her in this next trial. That right there tells me that that is exactly the motive. Nothing else other than that. Simply that. An unwinnable civil suit that no attorney would normally take. And we saw the ambulance chaser that Paul O'Keefe hired to sue Karen Reed and the waterfall. I mean, we saw the ambulance chaser firm that he hired. And we're thinking that there's no way that they could win this. What could be their motive? They have to know that they can't win it. This is the motive. The motive is to get her to testify under oath without having her to take an under oath testimony, to get an under oath testimony from her without having to put her on the stand. That's clearly what this is. So Karen Reed's defense team has requested a stay on the civil suit.
plaintiff's attorneys were arguing in their opposition is that she has had the opportunity and has taken that opportunity to talk to a number of media outlets. So, you know, it's a little bit of pick and choose, but ultimately any defendant has the right not to testify against themselves. So,
But what most people don't understand about the Fifth Amendment is, yes, she can still claim it in the civil suit because it potentially exposes her to criminal responsibility in the other case. But in a civil suit in Massachusetts, if in fact you choose to exercise the Fifth Amendment, there's a presumption that the answer would be harmful. And the jury can be told in the civil suit, the jury can be told that she's exercised the Fifth Amendment against testifying.
And that's the huge difference. And we know the bar is so much lower in a civil lawsuit, but that's the big difference, is that
Absolutely.
they would use that against her, whereas you can't in the criminal case.
Does it matter? So let's say the civil case happens after the second criminal trial. Does it matter if she's convicted or acquitted?
Yes.
What happens in the civil case?
Significant.
I mean, the problem with that is the jury still sees you. I mean, the judge has to be like, the person has pled the Fifth Amendment. So therefore, hey, Brady Churchwell, it's good to see you. The judge could be like, jurors, you have to disregard, you can't, them pleading the Fifth is their right, so that can't hold any bearing on your decision. But these are still human beings with ears and a brain that processes what they hear. So even though they say they can't use it, it's still going to affect their judgment, sure. But and that's just in a criminal case. In a civil case, in a civil case, it totally can. In a civil case, they could totally use that. A civil case, they could just be like, oh, well, that's fucking weird that she opted to plead the Fifth. What does she have to hide? So here, all of us will know that Karen Reed would be pleading the Fifth if she chose to do so. But if she would be pleading the Fifth in order to deprive the prosecution of taking more things that they could use against her, twisting and giving them more ammunition to railroad her. So it really sucks in that sense. So basically, there's this possible ultimatum here where it's like, okay, well, either incriminate yourself in some way in the criminal trial, or lose the civil suit by pleading the Fifth. You know, that fucking sucks. And how is she not being railroaded? Explain that shit to me. Come on. Now, and the fact that it's coming from Paul O'Keefe makes it seem like legit, you know, like, oh, good for him, he's fighting the good fight. Well, the problem with that is that would be totally fine and dandy, and I would totally back up Paul O'Keefe if he wasn't literally ignoring every piece of exculpatory evidence in this case and completely and totally seemingly dismissing logic and rationality altogether when it comes to the facts of this case. So no, I it doesn't legitimize it to me that it's Paul O'Keefe that's filing this lawsuit, because as much as I hate to say it, Paul O'Keefe is not acting in the interest of justice for his own brother. He just simply is not. Now that is up for debate as well. Is it because he's grieving? What is it? Possibly, sure. I don't know. All I'm saying is his actions are not consistent with that of someone who is trying to get justice for their loved one.
Because if she's convicted in the criminal case, they will then try to use that through a legal principle called collateral estoppel. The issue has been decided. You were responsible for his death. Now let's just determine what the damages are. And so, yes, it will significantly change it.
Well, during the trial, we know Trooper Michael Parcher's behavior, some of his testimony, the investigation came under scrutiny. So if you need to refresh your memory, I think we all
okay.
A few clips.
Let me shoot that down, because people are like, Paul O'Keefe is looking for a money grab. No, he's not, because there's no money to be made off of this. He can't win. He can't win. And Karen Reed doesn't have the money. All of Karen Reed's resources are going into her defense. She's selling her house. So it's not like she's over here made of money, dude. So he's not looking for a payout or a money grab because he's not going to get it. In order for there to be, let me explain to you guys how this works. In order for there to be a money grab, there has to be money to grab. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not giving you shit, Spacey Stacy. I hear this a lot, so I just want to address it. So the bar's insurance companies. Okay, I love that you brought that up. I love that you brought that up, and I love that you're so fucking arrogant in your comment too. The problem with that is the case against the waterfall, the bar, as you're claiming, the case against the waterfall is even weaker than the one against Karen Reed. That's an unwinnable case. Can't be done. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's an unwinnable case. Now they might decide to settle. That's possible. They might just be like, it's not worth it. But the case against the waterfall is even weaker. They're saying that they served her knowing that she was intoxicated. They could prove that she showed no signs of intoxication. Even the people who testified against her testified that she showed no signs of intoxication, no visible signs of intoxication. The bar says that they showed no visible signs of intoxication. And by the time she got to the Waterfall Bar and Grill, she only ordered 2 drinks while she was there. So if they don't know how much she had to drink, she didn't seem intoxicated when she was there, and they only served her 2 drinks the entire time she was there. Where is the fault in the Waterfall Bar and Grill? Where's the fault there? The Waterfall Bar and Grill did nothing but exactly what it opens its doors every day to do. That's it. So, Robert Vale, thank you for your very arrogant yet empty comment there. Appreciate it. Oh my God. Oof.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Liz, 8888. So many people have said Karen Reed did not seem intoxicated, including the McAlberts. Exactly. So the lawsuit against the Waterfall is just bullshit. It's pure bullshit. Yeah, I guarantee if CF McCarthy's is fighting it, if CF McCarthy's is fighting it, then the Waterfall would be foolish not to, in my opinion. It doesn't matter if there's more witnesses, though, Cherry. It doesn't matter if there's more witnesses. Now, common sense would dictate, yeah. I mean, why would they even bother unless they could get more witnesses? Sure. But it doesn't matter. The witnesses that have already testified in open court are much more compelling because they're already trying to damn Karen Reed. So even if the very people who believe that she killed John O'Keefe, quote unquote, I mean, even those very people testified that she didn't seem intoxicated to them. Karen's insurance would kick in and pay, so it is a money grab. But how do you know what Karen's insurance? How do you know she can even afford to pay the insurance anymore? She's selling her house. She's broke. This is fucking wiping her out. So you people are sitting here talking about insurance like it's a fucking given thing. Not everybody has that kind of insurance. Not everybody can afford that kind of insurance. So, I mean, people are just jumping to this conclusion like, oh, her insurance is going to pay for it. Like, yeah. You know what you sound like to me when you people say that shit? Oh, the insurance is going to pay for it. You sound like Kramer in that episode of Seinfeld, like where he's explaining to Jerry about write-offs. That's what you sound like to me. Well, the big companies, Jerry, they just write this stuff off. Jerry goes, do you even know what a write-off is? He goes, no. Do you? No. But they do. And they're the ones writing it off. That's what you sound like to me. Every single person who brings up insurance. Who the fuck, what kind of insurance do you know that she has? What are you talking about? What insurance? How do you know she has that?
From his testimony.
She's a whack job. I text my wife waiting to lock this whack job up. Yes, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though.
Y'all are fucking
So this
great.
is a citizen. She's a woman. You were supposed to be objectively investigating. You weren't so much as objectively investigating her as objectifying her in those moments, correct?
Again, Mr. Jackson, it was a poor choice of words and a joke.
That comment was made frequently as a result of what was revealed in Proctor's testimony. He has been suspended without pay. And then just this week, in a separate murder case, their lawyers have requested more information about the investigation that he did on that case. In other words, there's more domino effect and fallout from that one testimony from that one trooper. Will we expect to hear or see more?
Yes, you will see more. There's already other lawyers who are
See
trying
more
to defend their
butts.
clients, and Proctor was involved in those investigations, and they want access to that material. They want to get an examination of his phone. There's no.
Is this a surprise? Is this a shocker? Because this leaves us with a dilemma that I'll discuss when this is over, but if I remember to do so. But I did tweet about it.
There's no reason why they won't seek access to it, because at the end of the day, at best, it might be enough to help create reasonable doubt. So it's far from over.
Does the defense attorney just see that and just pounce on it, knowing that it could impact their case?
Yes, any defense attorney who has a homicide case that involves any of these troopers, which, to be quite frank, as we have seen, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, their unit, the state police unit, CPAC, inside handles all the homicides. So it's actually a small, this handful of troopers deal with all of these homicides. Any other attorney who has a case other than Karen Reed and has one of these officers involved, particularly like Michael Proctor, sees this as a window of opportunity to essentially attempt to establish reasonable doubt or find something that could benefit their case.
He's not the only one in hot
Right.
Canton Police Detective Kevin Albert also disciplined as a result of Proctor's testimony. Is there anybody else that needs to be maybe looking over their shoulders to say, I may be in trouble because of how I acted during this investigation?
Yeah.
I think they all have to be looking over.
There you
their shoulders.
go.
Law enforcement did not cover themselves in glory on this from
Thank
a
you.
standpoint of evidence collection to
I like
evidence
this guy.
preservation. If you think about almost all of the mistakes we heard of throughout the first trial,
Inversed videos,
anyone,
red solo cups.
exactly, anyone who touched some of that evidence should be concerned as to the level of professionalism that should have been displayed and what was actually displayed.
Wow.
All right.
Absolutely.
Don't go anywhere.
I love it.
Michael and Catherine are going to stick around. And then a little later on King Confidential, our Sue O'Connell joins the conversation.
Oh, there she is.
Who the
Okay, she's
high-profile
coming.
prosecutor taking over this case?
Yeah.
Issue to Hank Brennan.
Let's talk about Hank Brennan. I look forward to that.
Morning is unlike any other time.
Oh, is it? Is it? Morning is unlike any other time? Oh my God. That's amazing. I had no idea. Thanks, Boston 10 News, for that news. That morning is unlike any other time. Holy shit. Did you guys hear that?
The results in Manchester.
Shut up.
Crisis.
Shut up. Shut up.
Savings fresh option realize your being thing.
Yep. And here's the thing.
Yeah, awesome.
Welcome back to Canton
Hold on, I want to see that actually.
Hey, what's this ballot tip initiative thing?
Question
Yeah, what
5
is
will
that?
force restaurants to raise your menu prices, charge new service fees, while taking away tips from your waitstaff.
So the tip I attend for you, they take.
You hear that, local Norfolk County drunks? Vote no.
away.
Yep. And here's the thing. Take away my tips. I can't afford to pay my bills or my rent.
Yeah. Norfolk County drunks who work in the service industry. Vote no.
If you want to help your wait staff, vote no.
Protect their tips while opposing higher prices
Hell
and new
yeah.
service fees. Vote no on question 5.
There we go.
Welcome back to Canton Confidential. Now, barring any major developments, a second criminal trial of
I'm out here doing Canton's work from Tennessee, bro.
Karen Reed is less than 4 months away. And one of the biggest changes this time around is the appointment of a new prosecutor, Hank Brennan. He is well known, probably most famous for defending Whitey Bulger. What were your thoughts when you hear that he's going to take over the prosecution of this case?
I thought it was
See,
a bold.
now that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. The Wahlbergs aren't touching this case. They produced Boston's Finest with Brian Albert and John O'Q's partner, Patrick. Okay.
A necessary move. I think Hank Brennan is a terrific lawyer. I think a fresh set of eyes on the case made a lot of sense. And I think the case will be tried a lot more simply than as it should have been the first time around.
No, okay. Let me explain myself a little bit, LA. I'm sorry if I came off defensive. I wasn't defensive. It's just when you're in someone in my position who's constantly arguing with people on social media about stuff like this, you tend to get tired of hearing the same thing over and over and over again. So mostly that was just frustration of repetition. That's all that was. It was not directed at anybody in particular. So if I came off that way to you, I apologize. I'm learning to be nicer, guys. I'm working on that. Okay. I'm trying to say fuck off a lot less. You know what I mean? I'm trying to call people stupid a lot less. You know, I'm trying to do that. But not that I would have called either one of you stupid in this particular scenario. I'm just being very clear as to I'm making an effort here, folks. Okay, I'm making an effort.
Watch the Whitey Bulger trial when we covered it, because federal courts require no cameras in the courtroom, so we actually had to be there. A lot of great lawyers in that room. Hank was the best lawyer in that courtroom throughout that trial.
So,
and no slight to all the other great lawyers in that room.
but he was that good.
He was very good.
And everyone had their eyes on that trial.
And they did, and it will be warmly received by the jury. And I think to a greater extent, perhaps, than Jackson, simply because his style is more consistent with what we would normally see around here. He's sort of an everyman approach. I would expect that the jury will warm to quite a bit.
Less LA.
Wait,
Less LA.
what?
Because he very that trial.
Wait.
Slight
I got to hear all that all over
I
again.
thought it was a bold and necessary move. I think Hank Brennan is a terrific lawyer. I think
Oh my God,
case made a lot of sense, and I think the case will be tried a lot more simply than as it should have been the first time around. You know, I watched the Whitey Bulger trial when we covered it. Because federal courts require no cameras in the courtroom, so we actually had to be there. A lot of great lawyers in that room. Hank was the best lawyer in that courtroom throughout that trial.
This guy
And
had
no
me,
slight to all the other great lawyers.
and then
But he was that good.
He was very good.
And everyone.
And they did, and he was warmly received. And I think to a greater extent, perhaps, than Jackson.
Fuck,
simply because
man.
His style.
Fuck, man. Little Irish, just Irish. Thank you, Little Irish girl became a YouTube member. Thank you, appreciate it. Right, Olivia Nile, you're saying what I'm thinking. Hank was a murderer's defense attorney at that trial, not a prosecutor. He is defending the McAlberts or prosecuting Karen Reed. Which one is it, dude? Olivia is right there, right there, always right there. Well, not always. She's always like way ahead of me. But this time she was like right here.
Style is more consistent with what we would normally see around here. He's sort of an everyman approach. I would expect that
Okay.
the jury consistent with what we would extend perhaps, and it will be warmly received by the jury. And I think to a greater extent, perhaps, than Jackson, simply because his style is more consistent with what we would normally see around here. He's sort of an everyman approach. I would expect that the jury will.
So, okay, man. Okay. Oh my God, little Irish girl just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh my God, Sunny Days just gifted 5 memberships too. I can't take it. Oh my God. Dude, you guys are, it's overload, bro. It's overload. Like, I'm scared of the gifted memberships at this point. Like, I'm scared of them. I'm scared of them. Like, I'm like,
No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait.
Oh my God. So this guy just sat there and said that he's an everyday. This guy was like, yeah, the guy who defended Whitey Bulger. I think he's going to go very well with the people of Boston because, you know, with the people of Norfolk County, because he's an everyday attorney. Not like Jackson. Not like Jackson. Oh my God, GP Dog Drool. You did not. Oh my God. Jesus. I'm not willing to accept this. I can't accept this. It's overwhelming. I'm not. No.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No.
Actually, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. Yeah, this dude is like, I mean, like Olivia said, he was a fucking defense attorney for like the most notorious gangster in Boston. For fuck's sake. Oh my God. Robin gifted 5 memberships. Lady D12, DI2 gifted 5 memberships. I never get that right. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think we got a super chat. Super fan. I think we got a super chat. Super fan. Super chat. Super fan. 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 I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Okay. So the one earlier says that Norfolk County hired him for notoriety, trying to overshadow AJ. Great point. I agree with you on that. And Turtle Boy movie, who plays Turtle Boy Meredith Will FFV Bettero. I don't know. I mean, dude, first of all, I'm not I'm not a prominent enough character in all of this. I would only count on someone playing Turtle Boy if they made a movie out of this, and they will, I'm sure. This is too insane. Like every time I have to remind myself that this isn't fiction. So yeah. But this dude right here, okay, he's basically telling us that he thinks that for some reason he's going to, that it's almost like he's a mouthpiece for Michael Morrissey. I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying it's almost as if he is. Like he's basically saying, like, yeah, this guy's gonna have, he's gonna counter Jackson's personality. The idea is to get someone who the jury is gonna like more than Jackson. That's basically what he's saying here. And I don't see how the jury's gonna like. I don't see how the jury is gonna like the guy who defended Whitey Bulger more than Alan Jackson. Like, I just don't see how that's gonna happen. I just don't see how that's, but I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
Form to quite a bit.
Less LA.
Less LA.
Less LA.
NBC.
So less LA. So that's the idea is, the idea is to get the jury to look at Jackson like, oh my God, he's just this LA Hollywood type lawyer who defends rapists and child molesters and blah, 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 blah. Well, he is a defense attorney. It's his job to defend those who are questionable of character, to say the least. So it's not so shocking. But less LA. I mean, so you're going to tell me that there's no rapists and child molesters in Boston? No? There's not people committing the same type of crimes in Boston that they do in LA. So, what's up, Nick Rocco? You know what I mean? Like just because they take place in LA, that makes them more ew. Fuckers wrong with these people? Like, I always give these people the benefit of the doubt, man. What's up, Mazza? I always give these people the benefit of the doubt, and then they fucking just let me down every time.
C10 Boston, we got a hold of his contract, and we found out he's making roughly $250 an hour. But here's the thing: he can work as many hours as he wants.
Right, exactly, Miss Bell. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
The ceiling gets capped at $75,000, and I think when we, with a record like that, experience like that, $75,000 struck us as a little bit low. So does that?
So what the fuck is this, Boston 10? What is this? A fucking infomercial for fucking Bulger's defense attorney? Is that what this is? Is this a fluff job? Because that's what it feels like. That's totally. I feel like I'm sitting here watching some news station just sit there and fluff some lawyer. Like, okay, anybody got a rubber band? Come on, we got to keep this thing. Come on. That's what I feel like I'm watching right now. What is this fluff job? I mean, and could you be any more shameless about it? This is ridiculous. Yuri's math teacher gifted another 10 memberships. Oh my God. I mean, what this tells me is they don't have a case. Even more. I already knew they didn't have a case. But what this tells me is that they didn't have a case, that they don't have a case, so they're trying theatrics now. They're resorting to theatrics. That's what's going on here. Oh my God. We're going to get a local hero. Yeah. Okay. A murderer. But okay, fair enough. What if there's a whole subculture of people who appreciate Whitey Bulger and think, oh my God, he was such a good guy and so good to the community, regardless of the fact that he was a crime lord. He was, kind of like Bumpy Johnson in American Gangster, right? So, and if you guys are doubting the integrity of this man, just know that the cap has been set at $75,000 for this man's services. He must be doing it because he's in a relentless pursuit of justice. No, dude, I don't buy that shit for a second, bro. Like, what the fuck are you trying to, like, these people are really selling this shit. These people right here, you They're selling this shit. It's amazing.
That seem on track. And the other thing is, does the cap sort of tell you that they don't expect either a lot of work or a lot of time?
I think that it is a little bit on the low end from my perspective, but I mean, it's still $250 an hour. If you equal it out, it's probably about 300 hours or so. And as you
Right.
said, it's
Well,
capped
of
at 75.
course, to a guy like me, $250 an hour is fucking like, whoa, it's amazing. Sure. But for a lawyer in a high profile case who's getting paid less than the clown who tried to prosecute Turtle Boy, I mean, almost half of what that clown was getting paid. Dude. Like, oh, yeah, of course, that seems that seems like a lot of money to like me or you, but for a lawyer, no. This is weird.
5,000. What that indicates to me is that they're likely taking a different tact at it. It's not going to be, a 3-month trial. He's probably going to slash a lot of witnesses. There's not going to be as many exhibits. It's really going to be a different kind of presentation of the case. So, if you think that if it's a 3 or 4 week trial instead of a 3-month, we're at 100, 120 hours, and that leaves you, maybe 200 or so to prep. And I think that we don't want, there was a lot of, sort of scuttlebutt around that he's going to be paid $1 million and all of this and where the tax dollars going. And I think I actually think it's in good faith that he's not being paid a ton of money to do this. He's being paid what he's worth. And there's a cap on it. So I think it seems fair.
Reasonable.
Reasonable.
No one will question his legal
Listen to these assholes.
credentials, but why get a famous defense attorney to prosecute your case?
God, they
What
had me,
benefit
dude.
is
Boston
there
10 fucking
to the
had
office,
me.
and maybe what pitfalls
They really
could there be?
did.
He was previously a district attorney in Essex County, started up near me in Lawrence, then moved to Suffolk County as an assistant district attorney. So he's been on both sides of the equation. The idea here, I think, is you bring an experienced, fresh eye in, and I think that's what the district attorney decided to do, and I think it makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that, as we know, a lot of defense attorneys were once former prosecutors, and that there's sort of a unique perspective that comes with having both prosecuted cases as well as defendant cases. To me, bringing somebody who has, he's been on the defense side for quite some time now, come in to take a look at the case. This is an attorney who wouldn't be taking on a case like this if he didn't think he had.
See, you know how I know that this is a fucking fluff job? Because these people are just dismissing common sense. They're just dismissing it, right? Yeah, and she just said it herself, like in so many words. She's like, well, a lot of prosecutors become defense attorneys, and a lot of defense attorneys become prosecutors. But the only defense attorneys that really become prosecutors are public defenders. Public defenders. People with their own fucking practice that's already successful, who already represented somebody who had a fountain of resources to pay them with, don't backtrack and become prosecutors for $75,000 at a cap. That doesn't happen unless there's something up. I mean, and it's like they have these people up there wearing their suits and their glasses and acting like they're fucking experts at some shit, and they probably are, and they definitely are more educated than I am. But the thing is they're treating me like I'm actually stupid. I'm not stupid. You people in chat are not stupid. Okay? We may not have their education. Some of you do. Some of you are more educated than them. But this isn't a question of education. This is a question of common sense. This is a question of what your eyes see and how they perceive them. And the fact of the matter is you could sit there and wear your suit and your glasses and sound as smart as you fucking want, but you're not going to convince me. You are not going to convince me that there's not something suspicious about the fact that a very, very high profile perhaps Boston's most notorious defense attorney in history, besides John Adams, is now, just for the good of just doing it, is going to fucking prosecute this sham of a case for $75,000. And we're not supposed to be suspicious of that. We're supposed to just take your word. Like, oh, that's cool. No, it's suspicious as fuck. Exactly, Miss Bell. Thank you so much. It's very suspicious. It's incredibly suspicious.
Had the evidence to prove it. And so I think it gives a little bit of credibility, more credibility. And not that the, obviously there was a lot of discussion about Adam Lally's presentation, but seems like it was a little bit too close.
Now, before I let this person continue talking, I do have Turtle Boy's donation link pinned to the top of the chat. We know for a fact at this point that Turtle Boy, we've always known for a fact that Turtle Boy was being railroaded. But again, Turtle Boy's resources are limited. He's got a long fight ahead of him. And in my opinion, the man didn't do 2 months in jail to come this far just to go broke and not be able to pay his attorneys. So he's not begging for it. He didn't ask me to do this. I believe in Karen Reed and I believe in Turtle Boy as far as their innocence goes. And I want them to get as much help as possible. So if you feel generous, please donate to Turtle Boy's defense. If you would prefer to donate to Karen Reed, the link for that is in the description right now. So you could just go to the description and click on the link and donate.
Close a little bit, with the accusations of conspiracy and corruption, all these kinds of things. This takes it out of that. This is an outside attorney who's looking at it from an entirely different
Joe, flip
perspective.
ahead.
So I think it's a good move on part of the DA's office.
And we know it's not going to be, sounds like 3 months.
I hope not.
So that's where we stand right now. It's been so wonderful to see you both again. Thank you. And we know you're going to be returning
Yes,
with us.
many times.
Thanks for having us.
Coming up on Kate and Confidential, the Karen Reed murder trial. What would this be without Sue O'Connell joining the conversation?
Yeah, what would it be?
Inside the courtroom, she's going to give us a broader
So
view of
far,
the
what I see it being is a big crock of shit. So, yeah, bring on Sue O'Connell.
One case has shaken the community in Norfolk County. Stay with us.
Gas more expensive. Cap.
Shut up.
Stock low or her unit. People Blue Cross and physical beer science ban of now AOT supports a
Sue O'Connell, our courtroom insider and commentator, joining us at the table. It's been months since the trial has ended, and unless you are directly involved, most of us have sort of taken a breath and a step back rather than be immersed like we were during the trial itself. And you're laughing.
Look at me, except for me.
Have you
So, Nick Rocco, thank you. So Hank represented Whitey. Reddington represented Whitey's girlfriend. Now Reddington represents Jen McCabe, and Hank is the prosecutor. Yeah, shady stuff. Let me tell you guys. Some of you guys didn't hear this. Some of you guys did. I'll tell you guys a little story of when I was in the courtroom last time I was in Boston. So Reddington, so I'm outside the courthouse and I'm taking pictures and stuff with people. And then Reddington standing at the top of the courthouse steps, leaning up against the banister. And Tom is right there. And I had just gotten there. It was like really chaotic. And Tom was like, hey, Will, say hi to Reddington. He's right up there. Say hi. So I'm like, oh, and and he oh, thank you, Cherry. I appreciate it. Hold on, let me pin that. Replace pin membership. Thank you so much. Okay, so actually the actual defense fund is there we go. Thank you. Appreciate it. So Reddington is like, hey, from the top, from that banister, right? And I look up to him, I'm like, hey, big fan, and then he laughed, right? So then we all end up in the courthouse, right? And we end up in the courtroom, and I'm sitting next to Meredith, and Deanna's sitting there, Paul Cristoforo's there, and and Jen Altman's there, and so Reddington, though, I'm sitting on the end, and everybody's kind of wondering what the fuck Reddington's doing there. You know, everybody's kind of like, what, you know, what the fuck's he doing here? You know, and they're like, that's Jen McCabe's lawyer, blah blah blah, and he's just kind of walking around the courtroom. People are like, what the fuck's he even doing here? And then he sits down next to me, and he, you know, in jest, jokingly, he goes, hey, would it be awkward if I asked you for your autograph? And I just laughed, right? And the bailiff had already told us to like silence our phones and shit, you know. And he goes, would it be awkward if I asked you for your autograph? And I was just like, well, it's already awkward for anybody to do that, so not really, I guess, you know. And then he's, you know, he laughed, and then I laughed, and then he goes, and I had to ask him, you know, because the question was on my mind, and I was like, and everybody was kind of asking, you know, I just kind of, I felt comfortable enough at that point to go, what the fuck are you even doing here? I was like, so what are you even doing here? He was like, and then it occurred to me as I asked the question, there's other cases on the docket, duh. You know, he's here for another case, right? He's a lawyer. He's in a fucking courthouse, you know? So, so, I go, what are you doing here? You're working another case. You got another case. It's like, yeah, I was like, he goes, yeah, some fucking psychopath back there fucking chopped up his wife through in a fucking pond. Busted out laughing because I knew exactly the case that he was talking about, and I didn't realize he was representing that doctor, which is going to be interesting because Proctor worked that case too. But I busted out laughing, and the bailiff looked over and was, you know, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! You're gonna get me in trouble, dude. You're gonna get me kicked out of here." And he just like patted me on the knee and laughed and then walked away. Here's my impression of Reddington. He's a funny guy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get mad at the guy for representing clients that pay him. You know what I mean? Whatever. Fucking say what you will. Get mad at me all you want. But the shit was fucking funny. It was shit was the most bizarre, surreal thing to ever happen to me, ever. I couldn't no, not Brian Walsh. It was the doctor. The doctor that, like, yeah, I swear to God, he goes, some fucking psychopath. They got locked up back there. The fucking chopped up his wife through in a pond. I was like, oh my God, dude. It's like, dude, you're gonna get me fucking kicked out of here, dude. This is the fucking craziest experience I've ever had in my life, is following this case. Swear to God. It's fucking most insane shit.
Have you seen her social media?
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, and but you're also hearing it still in the air, in the public, still attention after these months. I mean, summer's usually laid back, but this trial hasn't gone anywhere in terms of popularity of chit chat.
No, I mean, I think what's been happening is you have movements on both sides or all sides. I hate to say there's two sides because there's a lot of mishmash, and people are now creating communities and cultures that have very little to do with the death of John O'Keefe, bringing justice, or even if you think Karen Reed is guilty, Karen Reed. You know, if you're on social media, people are calling each other's names. They're
Oh my God, lady, Jesus Christ. Again, I'm like, yes, Sue O'Connell. Bring on Sue O'Connell. Sure enough. So now she's on a fucking soapbox about people on Twitter telling each other to go fuck themselves. So what? Oh my God. All right, hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. Okay. Hold on. Let's calm the fuck down, people. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Where's this fucking guy? Where's this fucking guy? Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. There we go. We got it all set. We got it all set. We're good to go. We're good to go.
They're criticizing the way they look. They're calling you stupid for not watching the entire every second of the trial. And then in Canton,
No, lady, we're calling you stupid for chiming in without having watched the trial. Yes, of course. Hold on. Let me start Sue O'Connell all over because she's on
Spelling
fire
line
here.
in terms
And
of the popularity of chit chat.
no, I mean, I think what's been happening is you have movements on both sides or all sides. I hate to say there's two sides because there's a lot of
bowel movements.
mishmash, and people are now
It's a lot of
creating
mishmash.
communities and cultures that have very little to do with the death of John O'Keefe, bringing justice, or even if you think Karen Reed is guilty, Karen Reed.
Okay, you see what
if
she
you're
did
on
there?
Social media.
You see what she did there? Like right there, she was like, she basically lumped up everyone who thinks Karen Reed is innocent, blaming us for creating these cultures, as she put it. These cultures, right? Like, and then goes, and then even the Karen Reed, even the people who think Karen is guilty. Unbelievable, dude. What's up, Mazza?
What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
Oh my goodness. Do we got to give you yes. Welcome, my friend.
I had to jump on for this portion of this show. I was just out and about picking up some groceries, getting some gas because I got to take a trip down to Taunton tomorrow night. And I'm just sitting there like I swear when I go home, I'm gonna go live on my show. Then I saw you were live. I'm like, you know what? Better yet, I got to see if I can jump on the glare because this segment here with Sue O'Connell set me off so bad. It was absolutely just insane the way she was. This is what she's suggesting here. It's like she's ripping the protesters apart and saying everything we're doing is useless. It's like, knock it off. I mean, this is talk about just being tone deaf, man.
Dude, well, you know, you're always welcome here, my friend.
Thank
It's
you.
always a pleasure to have you. So
Thank you, bro.
thank you for being here. Yeah, man. I haven't heard this yet. So I'm just in the first throes of being pissed off because I'm like, what the fuck? This lady just came out of here and just started kicking people in the shins for what? You know, like
man.
what the fuck is wrong with her? Like I've been defending her too.
Oh yeah.
Fuck this
That was
lady.
my
Hold on.
attitude.
Let's see what she has to say. Hold on.
People are calling each other's names. They're criticizing the way they look. They're calling you stupid for not watching the entire every.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But why are you blaming the Free Karen Reed people for that? Like, yeah, we engage in it, but I can honestly say that the majority that I've seen Free Karen Reed people doing it is on the defense. You know, like, yes, I'm like, hey, fucking dummy, you know, open your eyes, dummy. I'm that guy, sure. No denying that. But, you know, don't say absolutely, completely, and totally ignorant things. Why isn't Sue O'Connell defending the fact that people are passionate about their rights not being violated? People are passionate about the justice system working up to the standards in which the minimum standards to which any taxpayer would expect. Why is she absolutely totally not just minimizing it, she's dismissing it?
It's unbelievable. This was totally like just out of nowhere too. The way she just started going after everybody for everything. And well, we all agree X can be an absolute cesspool when it comes to the other people on the other side that like to attack us all the time. But yeah, a lot of it's been done because the trolls were attacking first, and many of us do counterpunch, of course. But at the end of the day, it's it is the internet, and the internet's been around for a while. And if anybody's actually been on the internet, used the internet, it can be a pretty volatile place. But with that all said, people do have the right to say what they want, whether that's on the streets of Canton or even on X. It's just
agreed.
Yeah,
of course. Like if it gets to a point, I'll just block somebody.
Right.
You know how much it takes for me to block somebody? That's how much I believe in freedom of speech. I'll just sit there and let somebody lie about me over and over again, and I'll be like, whatever. You know, like, so what the fuck is this lady talking about? You know,
Yeah.
like, and that's the thing is I support anybody's First Amendment rights to speak. Right. I'm not trying to shut anybody up. I'm not trying to take anybody's Twitter down. I'm not trying to take anybody's YouTube channel down. I respect everybody's right to free speech. But the thing is I also like I'm simply exercising my right to free speech by calling them an asshole for saying what they're saying.
That's right.
You know, like I have a right to my opinion, even then that opinion, that right even includes opinions on their opinions.
That's right.
So
they have a right to their opinion, and you have a right to disagree. End of story.
Absolutely. Let's continue getting pissed here because this lady is already.
Oh yeah, she's gonna put some more fuel on this fire right now. Believe me.
Yeah.
Every second of the trial, and then in Canton, you have all of these things happen that make you feel like you're in middle school. There are multiple reports to the Canton police that people have been throwing rubber ducks in front of people's houses and in front of the businesses, the D&E Pizza, to make a statement.
Oh, not the duckies. Not the duckies. Oh my God, dude. Mazza, wait a second. Is that a not the duckies, Mazza?
Oh, the ducks.
Not the duckies. Not the duckies. No, not the duckies, Sue. The duckies are coming, Sue. What a fucking asshole.
Oh, for sure.
Reed's innocence or having this phony currency, not real money, but just as a joke. And they're being charged with littering. They're being charged with witness intimidation, or at least being investigated for that. They might be charged. So there's just this crazy culture that has emerged that, again, has not.
It's not a crazy culture. It's real simple. Like, you're even pointing out, she's talking about the investigation being just as ridiculous as the duckies. Cool.
Yep.
I'll give her that. But the thing is what do you expect these people to do?
Mm-hmm.
She's implying that the duckies are a form of harassment and a form of intimidation. The whole point is that the duckies are very, very non-threatening, and yet people still are going to speak their mind. You're not going to shut us up. That's the entire essence. I haven't even spoken to a person who has laid a ducky down in front of D&E or anywhere else. I have never had a conversation with anybody, but I can honestly tell you what the purpose behind the duckies is when I see it, because I have common sense. The duckies are a symbol of a non-threatening. It's a non-threatening thing. You know, what's less threatening than a goddamn rubber ducky? Ernie's bath buddy. You know, and we're just letting you know you're not going to shut us up. That's the message.
And all
you
these
don't have to worry
comments
about us, but we're not going to shut up.
All these comments that she's made are so one-sided. It's blatantly addressing Free Karen Reed people, Turtle Boy people, you know, but it's not addressing people that have had their yards vandalized and their flowers in their gardens vandalized by chemical-filled balloons that was covered by NBC 10 Boston.
Does she mention that once, or is she focused on the fucking ducks?
She only talked about that. I don't recall her talking about chemical-filled balloons at all.
Lady.
Because this, I mean, these rubber ducks are such an amazing crisis. I ran a poll last night on my show. What's a bigger threat, rubber ducks or chemical-filled balloons? We got 86%. I was shocked we had 14% say rubber ducks, but
you
rubber
actually
ducks
had 14%, and I
14%.
feel like I'm not gonna lie, I voted on that, and I almost voted duckies just for the sake of sarcasm. Like, this is let's see how high we can get this number.
Right.
I almost did that, so I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of those votes were that. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, it's insanity. They're in an absolute crisis in Canton, melting down over rubber ducks being like, there was one placed in like a flower bin or something like that, and the cops were stalking Rich all over the place. Like, oh, there he is. He's putting a rubber ducky in the flower bin. It's like, is this what you cops do all day in the town of Canton? It's just, oh my goodness. There's bigger problems in this town, believe me.
Unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with finding justice for John O'Keefe's death, about investigating it. If a lot of these people spent less time on social media and less time running around with these protests and maybe writing letters to the district attorney, writing.
Oh, because nobody thought of that. No, Sue O'Connell. Nobody thought of that. Everybody just wants to fucking, take a day off of work and stand in front of a fucking courthouse or in front of a state house or in front of a district attorney's office or in front of a fucking police station because they didn't fucking try writing letters first.
Yeah.
They didn't try going to select board meetings week after week after week, to speak their minds on what's going on and what their grievances are. This lady's unbelievable.
Oh,
my
is.
God. I'm mad for the people of Canton right now. The fact that she minimized that shit. Like if I lived in Canton right now, I would be twice as angry as I am right now.
Right.
That she said that shit out loud.
100%.
What the fuck is that?
How tone deaf does this woman need to be? And I've been someone that's been very favorable in my opinions about her. I've talked to her briefly in person with a quick hello when I've seen her a few times in person. But you have to imagine she's talked to enough Karen Reed supporters to know
she knows
a collective. That's right. She knows better. And she is she knows this as a collective whole. She's seen the people outside the court, how they behave, and she's trying to put everybody in a little box of, oh, we're a bunch of troublemakers and a bunch of starters on X, and then suggesting that we should contact District Attorney Michael Morrissey's office. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Let's write him a letter. Hey, Meatball Morrissey,
right.
Can you help?
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay.
No, I totally agree with you because now we're talking about, okay, yeah, let's suggest that people write letters to Michael Morrissey so that he can claim that there was direct harassment at him from a Karen Reed supporter, because that's exactly what he'll do. Why would these people not be deathly afraid of that at this point?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm telling you, I guarantee you that they tried writing letters before.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee that's happened. But at this point, to suggest, knowing what these people are being charged with, to suggest that they actually write a letter directly to Michael Morrissey, are you insane, lady? Are you blind? I met this woman. I saw her interview Scott McGinnis or talk to Scott McGinnis. I saw her do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit here and act like you don't know what's going on. I've seen her talk to Paul Cristoforo.
Yeah.
Paul Cristoforo introduced me to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people know. They know. She has talked to these people.
Yep.
So it's incredibly insulting to hear her say things like this.
It lit me up with anger so bad and so quickly. I admit, me and Paul were texting each other. I don't know if he wants me to say, but we texted each other and we're like, I'm like, Paul, like, I'm right now over this comment. This is a district attorney, mind you, that spoke way out of place to make a public comment on the Karen Reed case and Karen Reed supporters and Turtle Boy supporters about what they were doing. This is a man that had no business doing that, but yet got up there publicly and addressed it. There's simply no evidence and all this stuff. This is not a guy that's going to be fair, balanced, and objective regarding this matter. They have a side to play, and for her to make this comment, it's either her opinion or somebody put her up to it, and I don't know which.
I don't know either, but I mean, it's really, I always side-eye people who I know have common sense and are intelligent, and then they say things like this, because a lack of intelligence is not an excuse. So I side-eye them because I think that it's something slightly, or if not more, sinister. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Governor's office calling the attorney general.
So she says, and the governor's office. Yeah.
Trying to change, finding someone to run against Morrissey if that's what you think should.
What do you think they've been doing? What do you think they've been doing? What do you think we've been talking about on the very social media? So let me get this straight, Sue O'Connell, professional reporter. You're sitting here tweeting and you're going on your TV show talking about how all you see on social media is people insulting each other and going at each other, but you're telling me right now that you're not seeing people talking about contacting the attorney general's office, contacting the governor, tagging the governor in tweets about Sandra Birchmore.
Yep.
You're telling me you're not seeing any of this.
Right.
Stop it.
Exactly.
You know, come on,
Exactly.
lady.
This is a governor of the state of Massachusetts, and I always like to say this is not politically related, this opinion, but this particular governor on her own basis has been very, I would say, agnostic towards or ignorant to, in the public eye at least, what's been going on with Enrique Delgado Garcia most recently and all these other cases. Anytime she's stopped for an interview, she just gives lip service. She does a public relations speech, which is, well, this is terrible and this is bad, and we're going to look in. She does, but there's no action there. And for Sue again to suggest contacting the DA, contacting the governor, I haven't done this personally, but there's many people here. Etsy's in the chat. Paul's
I've
in the
seen the
chat.
tweets.
Has been outside the State House constantly protesting, and saying what needs to be said. And this she's ignorant or somebody's pushing her buttons. I don't know which. It's just it drove me up a wall so bad.
She has to know better. She has to know better. Because we're talking about somebody who I know for a fact has spoken directly with the people that are affected by this. So
Right.
I don't want to hear that shit. She if she doesn't know better, she has no excuse not to.
Yep.
Oh, she has no excuse.
This juvenile behavior, which takes up the police time, takes up the state police time. It's just chaos.
The point is, lady, is that rubber duckies shouldn't take up the state police time. That's the point. Woman, pay attention, please.
And if it wasn't for the two police departments, one a town department and one a state department, and the way they handled the Karen Reed case and several other cases, apparently, we wouldn't even be here having this conversation if they examined the crime scene on the night of January 29th, the morning, I should say, of January 29th, 2022, when John O'Keefe's body was on that lawn, when they collected evidence in solo cups, placed it in Stop and Shop bags, left it in a Sally port unattended for many hours, where people could have been in and out of there at all times. But yet, they think people on our side are burdening the police. We're here because the Canton police and the state police did not do their jobs and honor their badges to the level that they should have. And you have the lead investigator for the Massachusetts State Police suspended. Some people think he may have been fired, but I heard that was not true, that he's been suspended. He's still in suspension. But this is what's been going on here. There's a lot of questions about a lot of police officers right now in this particular state. Not all cops are bad. There are many good cops. We're not anti-police. We're anti-police corruption. And in this particular case, John O'Keefe and a few others, there's a lot of questions. So this whole attitude about, we're burdening the police, and oh my goodness, it's like, so you know our movement, you know many of our people, you've seen us in person many, many times. Please don't please do not bury us on camera, on live television, local news, the way you're doing that. Respectfully. We expect more out of her, and I felt like she was, I think Scott McGinnis was in the crowd.
I'm having a real hard time being respectful.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm having a real hard time, man, because I'm not finding a whole lot of reason why I should show her any respect.
Yeah, that's right.
She's not showing anybody here any respect, so why should I show her? Now,
Exactly.
you're a classy dude, and I'm not knocking you for being respectful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I actually, for my own personal growth, wish I could be more respectful. I actually envy your ability to do so.
Thank you.
Because this lady's pissing me off.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I know it.
I'm sorry, I just can't believe rubber ducks entered into the conversation here.
We have seen it spill over.
Yeah, neither can we. Lady, neither can we. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
Unbelievable, dude. This lady, I can't believe rubber ducks.
It's crazy.
Government too.
No
the
shit.
Audit of the department. You saw two people yelling at each other. A woman getting escorted out. Is that just sort of par for the course for where we are now?
Well, it is. I mean, it is, as we talk about all the time on that issue in politics.
And you see how they word that? They just tell you a woman got escorted out. So right away, that makes Rita look like a fucking nut job,
Right.
like a radical nut job,
Right.
Without asking her any questions, without stating this person, Rita Lombardi, who we've spoken to many times,
Right.
and has been very informative as to the insight as to some and provided us with a lot of insight as to what goes on inside that movement. They didn't credit her in that. They could have.
Yep.
They should have.
Yep.
Because Rita has been gracious enough to speak to them many times.
Yep.
And so why wouldn't they show her that respect?
Correct.
Why just some lady getting removed from a meeting?
Yeah.
You know, like she fucking lost her shit and then they threw her in a straitjacket in the back of a white van. Like, come on.
Right. Exactly.
Stop it.
Yep,
Show Rita
exactly.
some respect.
Yep.
Jesus.
It's madness.
This is what it is. But you have people who are taking sort of the most extreme views, showing up and making the arguments. I talk to people in Canton. I live in Canton for 10 years. Tons of people aren't going to the meetings because they don't want to deal with that craziness. They want the police department audited. Sounds like a great idea. But can't you just get behind the idea that we should be embracing the O'Keefe family for their loss?
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you talk in a second, Mazza, but I'm
going to let you go, man. I don't have popcorn, but go right ahead, sir.
Okay. Hey, Sue O'Connell. How do you think? Oh, wait 1 second. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. My SIRI popped up and okay. Let me play that little portion one more time because I don't want to lose a beat here.
People who are taking sort of the most extreme views, showing up and making the arguments. I talk to people in Canton. I live in Canton for 10 years. Tons of people aren't going to the meetings because they don't want to deal with that craziness. They want their police department audited. Sounds like a great idea. But can't you just get behind the idea that we should be embracing the O'Keefe family?
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Sue O'Connell, how the fuck do you think police audits happen? People show up to the meetings. Now, if the people who were running the meetings would show the people who actually want change some more respect and would actually give these people what they want, how they've gone for the last year. I've been following this case for a year. For the last year, I have seen time after time, meeting after meeting after meeting, seen people show up to these things, speak respectfully, get cut off, and sometimes even kicked out. And it falls on deaf ears, every single thing that they say. Every time. So you think that just getting behind the O'Keefes is going to bring the change in Canton that is necessary? I mean, yeah, everybody wants justice for John, but you can't get justice for John without making the changes, that are required to get him justice. The justice that was dismissed. We want to fix the problem so that doesn't happen again. And if the people who are responsible for John's death could be held accountable, we want that. But the only way to do that is to make changes in law enforcement locally and then get honest cops to get this justice. That's the only way. Everyone knows this. Everyone's known it for a while. Everyone's known it since I started following this. So I don't understand why this lady thinks that she's actually bashing. She has the audacity to bash the people who go to these meetings and say, oh, well, the other people are scared to go to the meetings. Well, too fucking bad.
Yep.
Most people are afraid to go into the front lines of a war because they don't want to get shot. Good for them. That's fine. Yep. Nobody's trashing them for that, but don't trash the people who pick up a weapon and stand a post.
Yep.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Yep.
Thank you, member for 2 months, LJ. Justice is coming. I agree. A petty paralegal. For fuck's sakes, who needs the slow-mo treatment? I love you. I love you too, petty paralegal. Thank you. And Joseph, member for 1 month. You sicken me, Susie, with what you know. Yeah. She knows. She knows better. Exactly. Go ahead, Mazza. What are you thinking, man?
Yeah, so we hear this a lot. Like, John O'Keefe is being lost in all this. People aren't focusing on John O'Keefe enough, but that's kind of the fundamental issue here, is that they're trying to blame us for being the ones that are not focusing on John O'Keefe and are drowning him out of the story. And we hear that a lot. Oh, you guys are just free Karen Reed, but you don't want justice for John O'Keefe. We've said this before. We'll say it again. Justice for free Karen Reed is justice for John O'Keefe. And the only reason the original story is
it's a mere step towards it,
right.
Is all it is. It's a mere step towards it, but it's a necessary step. Can't be done unless you take that step.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead, Baz.
No, it's all right. No problem. So, this whole thing is that when John O'Keefe was found dead, the way they handled this investigation, the way that they changed their stories around, and now all of a sudden Karen's guilty of this and that, and they're arresting her whenever they did, this whole thing took a sidestep from John O'Keefe the second they went in the direction of going right after Karen Reed. And once they did that, and many of us started to research this story and look at the facts and look at the evidence and look at a lot of the documents and say for ourselves, geez, doesn't really seem like Karen did this. This is why John O'Keefe has been lost in this from a narrative perspective, because the whole story has been made about Karen Reed. They're trying to basically say, well, Karen Reed needs to go to jail. And if Karen Reed goes to jail, well, then there you go. It's case closed. We strongly disagree with that. We strongly disagree that Karen Reed did this. And we strongly disagree with throwing Karen Reed in jail as justice for John O'Keefe. So basically, the fight right now is not for justice for John O'Keefe on a primary basis. The primary situation right now is Karen Reed, whether she goes to jail or whether she does not. That is the fight. When everyone stands in the streets, whether you're wearing pink or you're wearing blue, everybody's fighting for Karen Reed to go to jail or not to go to jail. And the people in the blue shirts will tell you, well, we're all about justice for John O'Keefe, when they're heckling and harassing Karen Reed when she walks into the courtroom on August 9th. And that's all they've done. They think that Karen Reed's guilty. It's a witch hunt against her. And additionally, if you need any more evidence of what they're trying to do to Karen Reed, look what they've done to Turtle Boy. Look what they did to Turtle Boy. Look what they're trying to do to Turtle Boy. Look at the way they've gone after the Canton Nine. Look at the way they've gone after residents in the town of Canton with water, chemical-filled water balloons. And look at the way they've gone after a guy simply for having rubber duckies and trying to accuse him of all kinds of crimes, like he's committing the crime of the century, like he's the damn Hamburglar from McDonald's. It's absolutely insane. So I'll yield back. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. All of that, 100%. It's mind blowing to me, because the thing is as you said, John O'Keefe is not lost in this. And if John O'Keefe is, though, you can blame the Commonwealth for that.
Right.
You can blame the McAlberts for not being forthcoming. You can blame you can't blame Karen Reed for fighting for her life, and you can't blame those of us for supporting her, because the reason why we're pissed, it's 50% of the reason why we're pissed is that Karen Reed is being wrongfully accused.
Correct.
The other 50% is that resources are being wasted that could have been put towards getting justice for John O'Keefe, a Boston police officer.
Right.
That's why we're mad.
Right.
So sit here and paint it like, oh, we're making Karen Reed out to be a rock star, blah, blah, blah. I can't speak for anybody else, but I know I'm fucking not. Because I'm telling you, half of me is just pissed about the fact that she's being railroaded, but I would be just as pissed as if it were anyone else. It doesn't matter if it's Karen Reed, doesn't matter if it's Turtle Boy, doesn't matter if it's you, Mazza. Anybody, I'm going to be pissed about. If it's happening to Grant Smith Ellis, I'm going to be pissed about it.
Yep.
If it's happening to Plevin, I'm going to be pissed about it. But the fact of the matter is that, that's only the half of my anger. The other half is that these resources are being wasted. And then the fact that we're asking why these resources are being wasted led us, or I should say led Turtle Boy, to the conclusion that there is corruption.
Yep.
And that corruption needs to be nipped in the bud if we want justice for future victims.
Yep. And they did anything and everything to shut Turtle Boy up. It was blatantly obvious. And people can say what Turtle Boy did right, did wrong, whatever you feel, it doesn't matter. The fact is that they went above and beyond to ensure that they had some kind of justification to throw him behind bars. And they arrested him twice. And it's just, it's insane what's gone on out there. And I know one of the commentators to the left of that panel right there said, I can't believe we're talking about rubber duckies. Well, that's not our fault. That's the Canton police. The Canton police want to make it a big deal. They think that rubber ducks are a bigger deal than chemical-filled water balloons that a Boston cop.
We would have never heard of a fucking rubber ducky in this fucking case unless Chris Albert whined about it. and
True. That's
and
true.
launched an investigation over it. Nobody would have gave a fuck about a rubber ducky.
Yeah.
Now they're iconic.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's for sure.
Thanks to you, Chris Albert, because you
Yeah.
couldn't take a joke.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, Jesus, dude.
Jeez.
For their loss. We should be caring for those children who have been orphaned. If you think that Karen Reed, I mean, there are problems with the investigation.
Oh, no, we should not. That's not our place to care for those children. This sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Those children should not even be in our conversations. Those children are already trying to adjust, and we should not have anything to do with and we shouldn't know what's happening with those kids. We shouldn't have anything to do with anything that's happening to those kids, whether we like the O'Keefes or not. That has to do with whether or not they are fit to take care of those children and guide them through this very difficult time. I support them 150% in that effort. In that sense, there is no reason why any of us should be sitting here trying to care for these children. No, those children are none of our business. Mind your own business, people. Please don't pay attention to this woman when she says things like this. Please just leave those kids alone. Don't even bring them up.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
And the Commonwealth dragged those kids to court.
Yeah. And the Commonwealth dragged those kids to court for what? More trauma?
Right. Exactly. Oh boy.
Karen Reed movement to try and get some investigations into the district attorney and the state police. And remember, John O'Keefe did nothing wrong and he ended up dead.
All right, so there are several adjacent cases to Karen Reed. One of them, witness intimidation charges against Aiden Carney, also known as Turtle Boy. His lawyer sent a letter to the DA last month making some allegations.
Here we go.
Michael, I know you had a chance to review the letter. Anything stand out to you, or is this just sort of par for the course for how?
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Gotta do it once in a while, man.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Dewey, thank you so much. Officer John O'Keefe present in every single action and word of these extreme juvenile people running around Canton, exposing the people who caused the grief, the O'Keefes and Karen and many others. Yes, that's basically what we're doing. We're just exposing all of that shit. Agreed. And thank you so much. What's up, baby boy?
Yes. Good old Clubber.
Yeah. 1 second here.
Sure.
All right. Now they're talking about Turtle Boy. Let's see what this is all about. Thank you, Free Scholar. Somebody got to Sue and said, tone it down. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Pull it back.
Works out in this case, as Sue just pointed out. No, I think a lot of it is posturing. The fact is that case ultimately is going to need to be tried. Right now, they're fighting about various discovery that they each feels that they're entitled to get, and that the government, and they have been too slow in turning over some of that information. But at the end of the day, will there be a case there that likely will go forward? I think the answer is yes. And I think the Commonwealth will take quite seriously these questions about witness intimidation.
So many things to monitor as we continue to move forward.
No, and John O'Keefe, Sue, thank you so much. At the center of it, there are all these spokes that come off of it.
And justice is at the center of it.
All right, when we come back to look at what's...
Yeah, lady. Justice is at the center of it. We know. What do you think we're doing? Like, this lady's unbelievable. Clever. You're going to have to wait, buddy. Go lay down.
Clubber's starting up.
Yeah, he's getting restless.
Oh, it's unreal. Yeah, so she responded to the chain of I made a post earlier on X. I wrote, did Sue O'Connell really just suggest on Canton Confidential that we should write DA Michael Morrissey and Maura Healey as a meaningful way of trying to get our concerns met? Believe me, we have long known the dead end road that is. So Paul Cristoforo wrote back and said, raise your hand if you wrote a letter and got no response, etc. And then Sue writes back to Paul, show me, with a period at the end. So, oh my goodness. Sue, stop it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's gonna be held accountable for those words on Twitter. Guaranteed. Twitter people are gonna hold her accountable for that little performance there, guaranteed.
For sure.
Robin G, member for 5 months. Was her job threatened like the one that went to Proctor's house and didn't get contract renewed? I don't know. Good question. Thank you. Yeah, so let's see if there's anything else in this bullshit.
That's still. How would you like to speak? There's no
facing 3 charges.
One second. The audit will never happen. The town is the town fixes in delay until the guilty are retired or moved. Kathleen Howley and David should publicly resign in protest. Let the fury of the press, YouTubers, and citizens rain down on Canton. I completely agree, ask Bob. I mean, that's what we're all here doing, man. And it's, but I don't agree with everything you're saying here. I mean, we can't have the attitude that the audit will never happen, because that will just discourage people from putting all of their energy into trying to make it happen. What's the point of fighting a fight that you are convinced is good, you're going to lose? You have to believe you can win this. You have to, if you expect to win it. If you expect any change, what is the point of fighting if you don't expect to win? So everything that everybody's doing, I completely 150% support, and I think you're doing great. So let's not get negative, ass Bob. Okay, buddy. Oh, good to see you too, Piney Woods Law and Crime. We love you. All right, let's see what this is.
Welcome back to Canton Confidential. We mentioned earlier in the show that Karen Reed is still facing 3 charges for the murder of John O'Keefe. She's fighting to have 2 of those charges dismissed. The Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court is expected to hear arguments sometime in November.
As of right now, Reed's second criminal trial is set for January 27th, and it's very hard not to pay attention to the fact that that is just 2 days before the 3rd anniversary of John O'Keefe's death.
Yeah, before we get there, though, no doubt there are probably going to be more twists and turns in this case as it approaches. But we want to remain clear about who is at the center of this story, and that is Officer John O'Keefe.
He was called JJ by his loved ones. Officer John O'Keefe was a 16-year veteran of the Boston Police Department. He's been described as a loving friend, brother, and uncle. When his sister and brother-in-law died just months apart, he became guardian for his young niece and nephew. We have to remember, John O'Keefe was just 46 years old.
Right, and as you mentioned earlier, important to keep him centered at all of this.
Right, and justice for John O'Keefe.
We are, you couple of douchebags.
Yeah, and you get them naming their title there, the Karen Reed murder trial. Not a word of
right.
John O'Keefe anywhere. Yeah. It's like, folks, get real. You know?
Yeah, because most of the time, because if it's a murder trial, because I promise you that when Leilani Simon goes on trial, which is coming up, Quentin Simon's name is going to be repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated. So like, stop it, Boston 10. We know you're full of shit. You're using hashtags, and we see it. We're not stupid. Scott McGinnis, thanks, buddy. I am just curious, who are the people that watch this mainstream media news? Are they dumb because they are misinformed, or dumb for watching it? That's a great question. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Right.
You know, I mean, like, you know, again, I agree with Denzel. It's 90% bullshit, but it entertains me.
Yep.
As long as you're somebody, like, there's nothing wrong with watching mainstream media. I'm not trying to tell people not to watch mainstream media. Just ask questions.
Right.
You know, use your common sense and go, wait a minute. Just don't accept every single thing that you hear as fact, and the bottom line all being the end all be all of all the facts. That's not the case. There's more that they're probably not telling you. And I'm not saying that in a sense that there's like a conspiracy to keep it from you. I'm saying you just gotta do your own research. Like, it's very easy to do if you need to, you know?
Exactly. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna roll. I got a headache right now, so my head's like, I fought to get on the show. I'm like, let me go on the show. I'm like, I forgot to take like Tylenol before I came on. I'm like, my head's like, all like this.
Oh
so.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
No problem, man. I'll be good in about an hour.
I always keep ibuprofen like right here.
Oh, that's good.
Like,
that's a good call.
always, because I get headaches all the time. I give myself headaches.
You're right, yeah.
So.
It was great meeting you last week, bro. And
yeah,
that
man.
was awesome, man.
Yeah,
It was
that was the best time. Like
Yeah.
we could have done that dinner live and people would have
Right.
loved just to watch it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It was that much fun. Yeah, it was that much fun.
Yeah.
But
Awesome, man.
yeah, well, I mean, hopefully we'll do something like that again soon.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I have every intention of going back to Boston as soon as I can.
Look forward to it, brother. It was awesome that you showed up and were there. And as soon as I heard you were in the area, I'm like, gotta make sure Will's there. Gotta make sure Will's there. It was the first thing I was saying. I'm like,
Yeah,
Will there.
man. That was awesome. I did not
Yeah.
expect that. Like I
Right.
get a DM from Betero. Like
Right.
I was like, what? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm sitting there with you. I'm like, am I really sitting across from the glare right now? Is this really like? I'm like, is he really here? Like seriously? It was insane. It was like, oh my goodness,
It
this
was
is
a
nuts.
very surreal thing.
It
Yeah,
was.
like sitting across you and sitting next to Richie was just like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to Microdose right now.
Yep. You and him
That's
bonded
wild.
quick. I loved it. You guys
Last
bonded
thing I
quick.
expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel Richie in my
Yeah, oh, yeah.
heart.
I
Most
could tell.
definitely. The dude is definitely the real deal, man.
Oh,
Like
he is.
his heart's in this 150%.
He's the man. He was the one that kind of got after me. I had made a few appearances on the Young Jerks, and he said, you need to get out there more and start doing some shows. So he was actually behind the scenes pushing my buttons. And I had done other shows, and I took a break actually after September of last year. And I'm like, I'm just going to do Twitter. I don't want to go back and do shows anymore. I don't want to do this. I was kind of like reluctant about it. He's like, I've heard you calling on the Young Jerks. You get a great voice. You need to get out there more and do this. And so I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, I'll do it. Yeah.
You're a newbie, and to be as natural at this as you are right now, like I
Yep.
see you sticking with this and really growing.
Oh, yeah.
Like you have a talent that most YouTubers don't, where you can actually talk,
Yep.
read chat,
Yeah.
answer people in chat, and not
That's
stop
true.
talking and get off your point. It's amazing. You're
Yeah.
a fucking magician. I don't know how you do it. Like
I
like,
never knew I had that ability until you pointed it out. I'm like, do I? I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, I do.
yeah, 40% of my live streams are duh like, and you're like just I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like I if I loved this anymore, I would sell my soul to be able to have that ability. But
Don't do that.
yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But no, man, yeah, I'm a Mazamaniac, people.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
I'm a Mazamaniac.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Mazamedia, for coming on. You're always
Thanks for
welcome,
having me.
I said before. And we'll see you soon, buddy.
Thanks again, Will. Appreciate it. Have a great night. Take care, everybody. See some of you guys tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.
Later, dude. Mazamedia, y'all. Unforgettable. Hey, Will, it was nice to finally meet you while you were here in Mass. Thank you for all the coverage and info you provide. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Amazing. So, I was gonna now what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do today. I never really have anything planned. I was thinking about going over the Ducky reports. I'll do that another time. But I forgot to mention I'll get behind the scenes with Mazza about that. But sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Yeah. All right. All right. Give me just 1 second here, folks. All right. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry about that, guys. Had to get another. So phone lines are open. You can call in. Why not? I feel like talking with people. Mazza made me want to talk to people. Maz is fucking amazing, guys. Make sure to subscribe to Mazza Media if you're not subscribed already. Do I respond to email? Probably not. Most of the time I don't. Just being honest. But thank you so much. Lover. No. You know better than that. Go lay down. Anybody? 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 Okay. I guess nobody wants to call in. COD. What's COD? I don't know what COD is. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey there.
Hey
It's
there.
Free Scholar. Hello, Galera.
It's what scholar? What?
Free, as in freedom.
Free Scholar. Awesome. What's
That's
up?
the name. I love your channel. I just love your basic approach to it and how you do it, and you get the real info in. And thanks for having Mazza on. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the approach has to be a bit bigger, and it seems like there's a lot of people ready to get together and form a strategy to get them to listen instead of just throwing rubber duckies at the wall. So,
Well, I
I would,
mean, the whole thing is like you're saying that like there's like this rubber ducky epidemic thing. There's not. It was just like a couple of occasions. The whole point,
of course,
the whole point is the fact that they put all these resources towards investigating who's behind the big rubber ducky caper. It's ridiculous.
of course. Yeah, that's the real story. Yeah, there's no murder here and cops corrupt.
Right.
There's just a big duck and he's in the way. We got to get that duck. But that's just stupid.
I
think
mean,
of a
but
few.
what is? I feel like at this point, it's necessary to become creative with your protests. Because what are these people
Exactly.
supposed to do? Stop protesting? Are they supposed
No.
to cower to the intimidation that you'll be charged for protesting?
No.
So
No.
they're finding creative ways to protest. Peaceful. I mean, what's less threatening than a goddamn rubber ducky? So what's the problem? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Creativity is the key because that's how you can get someone to listen. Well, they listened, but now they're listening to the wrong thing and they're focusing on it like it's the only thing and they're being idiots about it. But I've been hosting chats with people where we watch some of your videos and talk about certain parts of it and watch some of the other YouTubers that are really cool on this, like Melanie Little, and there's a couple other people that are doing some really, really good, intense dissection of what's been going on. And because the trial was recorded, we're lucky we can go back and see when these creeps changed their testimony. And they try to carve out things. Oh, I didn't say that. I said, she said, did I kill him? But it's just terrible. I watched Sarafe today, and it just, I love the way you guys can go over and pick it apart. So anyway, I've been holding chats where we can do that together and we can share documents and we can make a whole trail on each one of these creeps and so that anyone could discuss it intelligently.
Where have you been holding these chats?
On communitybridge.com.
Communitybridge.com. Okay, you hear that, guys? Go to
Yes.
communitybridge.com
Yes.
and search what? Karen Reed or John O'Keefe or what? Turtle Boy?
No, the room is called FKR.
Okay.
It's a chat room, so it would, and it's well, that's the one I'll make tonight. I was just using the office there, but it's just communitybridge.com/FKR. If I'll be in there hanging out like tomorrow, later tonight. And the thing is, if we can get you know what I mean, like the sequence of each of these idiots, that anyone could use what we're writing down, our documents, and talk to it intelligently. Because some of us in the audience here aren't really adept with putting it all together, especially when you're on the spot of some asshole or some cop or somebody, you know, threatening you. You're, that's not right. You know, you're wrong. But if we can all have these bullet points, I think that would organize us a bit more clearly to people. Bullet points we can get behind, that we all agree on. And
well, here, I'm putting something in the chat. This is a spreadsheet with everything that you need in regards to the case. All the documents.
That's what I mean.
So I just put the link for it in the chat. Click on that. That's thanks to Sleuthy Goosey. She put together this spreadsheet. It's my Bible to go back to in this case and reference.
That's exactly what I mean, because on Community Bridge, we can share documents and edit documents together. So the editing the documents together is really important because, you know, no one person can get every little dot and dash. So the more of us that are in there and get our eyes on stuff.
Sleuthy Goosey came pretty close. So that link, I dropped it in the
Yes.
chat, so you might want to click on it before you can't. So make sure you can click on it, save it, or, you know, download it, do whatever you got to do. Bookmark it. It is a site, so you could just, it's a very public Google Docs. All right, I'm going to take the next caller. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Bye-bye.
Call from Mo.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, crap. I did not mean to actually get on. Hi, this is Mo.
What's up, Mo?
Hi. I just wanted to say, all I wanted to say is that both sides of this whole thing should be missed because of the way that the investigation was held. If you're for Karen Reed or against Karen Reed, it does not matter because the cops, the way that the case was handled was bullshit.
Agreed.
Total bullshit.
Agreed.
So the people who are going after the free Karen Reed people, and you know who I'm talking about, and the person knows who I'm talking about, is complete, utter bullshit.
Well, yeah, I mean, these people they're not interested in truth or justice. The fact of the matter is you're exactly right in the sense that the people who cost John O'Keefe justice here were the Commonwealth. It was the Massachusetts State Police. It was the Canton Police Department. It was the Norfolk County DA's office. So,
well, it's not even only that. It even boils down to the 911 call. I'm actually a 911 dispatcher, and when you call 911 and you tell them that somebody is not conscious, you have to stay on the line and do CPR. You don't ask them if you want to do CPR. You instruct them how to do CPR until they are either response is actually there or, you know, an EMD or an EMS personnel takes over. You don't just like hang up on them and say, give us a call back if anything changes. No, that's not how it works. And I know that the Massachusetts and Boston and Milton and Canton, where this
so what are you
happened,
saying, that the 911 dispatcher fucked up?
The 911 dispatcher at the time sounds like it was somebody Sorry, I've had a few drinks. But the 911 dispatcher at the time sounds like it was actually a police officer who, I don't know exactly how the 911 dispatch in Canton happens, but where I work, there are protocols that you have to follow, and you have to abide by these protocols.
Right.
And
I see what you're
somebody is
saying. Yeah, somebody, and there was a guy, there was an officer who testified that was in charge of the 911 dispatch or something like that, if I remember correctly, and he testified. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. My memory's hazy, but I see what you're saying. That it probably wasn't an actual like trained 911 dispatcher. It sounded more like it was a cop. But
right, it does sound like a
I'm
cop
not
to me.
right, and I'm not so quick to, because that would imply that the cop was somehow in on it and didn't give.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that the cop was in on it.
Because I'm
but
with
the
you.
fact that
If what
they're
you're
not trained-
if what you're saying is right, okay. So if what you're saying is that it didn't sound like an actual trained 911 operator, it sounded like a cop who was just like, "I'll do 911 for a while. I got it."
and that could be the protocol they have
Right.
in that county,
Right.
or that could be the protocol that they have in that city. But the thing is that this was not handled properly for a freaking police officer or an officer of the law who lost.
Well,
his
in all
freaking
fairness,
life
the
on
911 operator was never informed that this was a police officer. Jen McCabe never identified John O'Keefe
And
as a police
it
officer.
should not matter. It's for what I'm saying
Right.
is it should not matter. Everybody who calls into 911 should get the utmost respect, especially if they're unconscious and especially if they are not breathing. You should instruct them how to do CPR. You should instruct them on how to save that person's life no matter what. When Jen called, she did not say cold and stiff in a warm environment. She did not give the proper protocols to say whether or not he was actually dead or that they were reporting a dead body. They were not saying.
Well, she was in a
that
panic. Didn't you hear her?
It does not matter. We are trained to not worry about if the
Sarcasm.
person is in panic or not. Like they are supposed to do their job and they weren't. I'm sorry. It pisses me off because there was a freaking fallen officer on their property and they
Sure.
didn't seem like anybody cared.
No, that's the whole thing is nobody gave a shit. That's the whole point. The only
And
person who
that's
did give a shit was Karen Reed, but people are accusing her of putting on a dramatic act to take away the attention from her.
And the part
not
that
attention, but
if you were
vision.
for right, and if you were for John O'Keefe or if you are for the other side or whatever, if you're not if you're like anti Karen Reed or whatever the fuck all this shit is, it should not be an anti Karen Reed or a for Karen Reed. I'm sorry, but it should be for John O'Keefe and the justice for John O'Keefe, and nobody on that freaking police investigation side is giving him the justice that he requires.
Why do you think I hashtag justice for
I
John
know.
O'Keefe? It's like
I
it
know. Trust
it
me.
doesn't even
Promise me.
it's
I
not going to
totally
get more
agree
viewers.
with you.
The free Karen Reed is what
No,
gets
no.
viewers, if any hashtag does. But I
Right, but
hashtag them
I'm-
all because that's the message I want to
Yeah.
send. That's it.
No, I completely agree. I completely understand with your point of view when it comes to that. I don't know if you know who I am. But
Yeah,
I'm
no,
particularly
I've put it together. Hi.
Okay. So it just really, really irritates me when someone can say that they're for justice and are not seeing the side that if they're for justice, they should be just as pissed off
Yeah.
at this case.
Yeah, Sue,
No matter what
Sue
he did,
O'Connell knows better.
the whole
She's
investigation
talked to
is
the
fucked.
Canton locals. She's spoken to the Canton locals many times. Many times. She's a Canton local herself. She knows.
Right.
She knows better. So you
Right.
know,
And I literally spent every single summer, every single winter right next door in Milton, Massachusetts. And none of this shit would ever have happened when I was little. And so like this whole thing, and my aunt still pays taxes there. She did not pay taxes to have a freaking investigator call this woman a cunt, whether it's behind the scenes or not. And somebody who like defends that word, like I know the whole thing with like you and the word that what that one person is saying. But like if I am paying,
I would
taxes-
never use that word.
Twat. Bullshit. But if I am paying taxes for an officer of the law to say that word, that's not what my taxes are going into. You can say it whenever the fuck you want to say it in your own time. You are not being paid by taxpayers. Proctor is. So you cannot use that comparison when it comes to him.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
Okay.
Agreed.
I
All right.
had to be heard.
I'm gonna take the next caller, Bo. Thank you for calling. I appreciate
Okay.
you.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Call from
Jennifer.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Will. Hola. How are you?
Hola.
This is Jennifer.
Hola,
Hola.
Jennifer.
This
¿Cómo
is
estás?
Jennifer. Bien. Yeah.
Cuéntame.
So I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Well, listen. I hate the fact when we were listening to the clip that you were playing from the news. Like I had to put that shit out there. How the news
Where are you?
starts to say,
Stop. Where are you from, Jennifer?
I'm from Chelmsford, Mass. I met
Hey,
you
what is your
in Mass.
nationality?
Boricua, papi. I spoke to you. I spoke to you.
Boricua, yo fellas, Boricua in the house.
I spoke to you. I had the green.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I had the green suit on. I was over
Yeah,
there when.
I remember.
Yeah. So listen, I hate the fact that the news, like they always say, "Oh, let's not forget it's about John O'Keefe." Like, dude, we are all for John O'Keefe. I don't think they get it. I don't think the news people. Yeah, the news people don't get it. There's a lot of people that don't get it. They're like blind to it. Like. Justice for Karen is justice for John O'Keefe.
Exactly.
We need to get the real killers, right?
It's a mere step towards. It's a necessary step. Can't get justice for John O'Keefe without Karen Reed being exonerated. Can't do it. Can't be done because she's innocent. She didn't do it. So, but it's just a mere step towards getting justice because you still have to hold the people who you have to investigate who's responsible and hold them accountable. That still has to happen.
Correct. And I think it's shitty that the news, like they'll go on there and be saying shit like that, like making the Karen Reed supporters look like shit. No,
that's totally what she did.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Like it's like they.
And what a stupid thing to do because now, like, she's not going to get any respect when she shows up to that courthouse wanting to interview people. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to show her any respect now. Like, look at how she insulted everyone. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think this is just nuts. The news people, everybody that's just blind to like what's actually going on. Like there's a lot of people that like to comment, like and say a lot of shit because they don't watch and follow this case. Like a lot of us that support, the movement. They don't watch everything. They don't watch Aiden. They don't watch you. They don't watch, Maza. They don't watch the young jurors. They don't follow it as much as we all do, so they don't know the facts, and they just speak out of their ass. They just want to just be there and be like the center of attention and just be like, yeah, this is how I feel and that's it. No, that's not the way it works. We need to look at the facts. We need to know what the people that were on the stand, what they said, what the facts that they spoke. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people are paying attention to that. And then the fucking media pisses me off. When he said that, I was like, this guy's a shitty motherfucker. I'm sorry. I'm like, you have to be really shitty to say something like that. This is for justice. If they always go out there, right? Every time we're standing on them steps, let it be in the Dedham district or the Dedham, Superior. Every time we're out on these protests and the people, all our Karen Reed supporters, they're all at these protests in different towns. What does it say on their signs? Justice for John O'Keefe. It doesn't say only for Karen Reed. It doesn't say so and so. It always says justice for John. I see a lot of the supporters wearing shirts for John. I see a lot of the supporters, their signs say justice for John. This is all about John. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is about an innocent woman too. Like they need to understand that. You get where I'm coming from, Will?
Right. Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. I mean, it's mind blowing to me that the media won't, even like. They're acting like they're playing it safe by saying, well, we don't want to outright say that she's innocent, but but why not? I mean, she's innocent and still proven guilty in the court of law, right? If you're going based on the facts and you're going based on, why not just presume her to be innocent at this point? Why is it not safe to do that for the news? It's weird. That at this
I feel like it's all for views, Will. I think it's all for views. Like they don't want to see one side or the other, so they could get like interviews with the bad, like the ones that we know that are the murderers and the people that are the corrupt ones. They just want to it's all for views for them. So they're like, you know what? We don't want to pick one side or the other because that way we get more coverage and media. And we're out there, we're putting different stories out there. It's just all for the interviews and the coverage, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, she doesn't realize that she lost the respect of a lot of people. Like she didn't have to like go the extra mile the way she did, like to insult. Like she could have just maybe not given, okay, I understand, maybe not pumping up the pink people, okay, fine. Even though I'd like to see that, but fine, don't do that. Okay. But to trash them and insult them, and make everyone out to be like they're just throwing insults at other people, like that's not accurate.
It's not cool. Hell no. We're all here together. We're standing as one. Like we're all for the same cause. We're all here to get justice. And a lot of people I notice, a lot of people don't understand. The more of us that stand out there, for these protests and everything, the more of us that stand out there, we don't know what it's like because we're not in Karen's shoes. But one day, God forbid, we'll be in her shoes. We're going to want the same support. And they're fighting for what we will need in the future, God forbid. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand this will benefit us too as well. Standing up against corruption and against all this junk. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Well, like I've seen a lot of the news media, they're always talking about, it's about John. It's about John. We know it's about John. This is exactly why we're trying to get justice for Karen Reed, for John O'Keefe. Like people are just nuts. I don't think they see the facts. I don't think they follow this case as closely as a lot of people do. And I just think people just speak just to like be relevant. You get where I'm coming from?
I think that some people, but then you have the plebans who actually do pay attention to the details of the case, and then they conveniently leave out the vital details that are clearly exculpatory. The
plebans. I like how you said that. The plebans. The plebans. Yeah, definitely the plebans. No, Will, it was nice talking to you. Thank you for having me on the show tonight.
Okay.
It's great to watch your show, and thank you for coming down to Mass. Hope to see you soon down here again.
I'll be back. Thank you, Jennifer. Te quiero mucho.
Have a good night, Papi. Have a good night, Papi.
Bye.
Good night, Will.
Bueno, dale.
Call from the Scenic Pit. Call from the Scenic Pit.
Oh my God. That shit totally fucking. Here we go.
Call from
Nikki.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, you're speaking to Nikki.
Hi,
with
Nikki.
Hockey Dressing Ventures. Yeah, so I got a couple things down. Like, I'm kind of jump around a little bit. For one, I just wanted to say I'm thinking about Sandra, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she was 4'10". I'm 4'10". And what's his name? The biggest jerk in the world. I think he
Matthew
was like,
Farwell?
6'3" or 6'2". Yes, that's him. Anyway, so my best friend's husband was 6'3", okay? And she took a picture of us together one time, and like the top of my head, the very top of my head came to like right above like where his elbow was. So, I mean, just imagine that. Like that just really hit home for me, just because I'm not saying like, oh, I'm small, I'm a walking victim. I don't mean it like that, but just like if you do that comparison in your mind, like that really brought it home for me. There's just no way that you can. She didn't stand a chance.
No. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Also, and then the one caller that was talking about the rubber duckies, I thought that was really brave of her. And also, when it comes right down to it, too, I was thinking about like when it comes like people all over the country are like, yo, Karen, and it's hard to like have a standout on the other side of the country when you don't know, like in Canton or in that area, everybody is like they're interconnected and it's easy to have a standout. But people like so far outside of the scope, they kind of feel helpless. You know what I mean? As far as like standing up for Karen. So I was just thinking it would be kind of cool. Okay, maybe not cool, but it would be funny for all of us to like order a whole bunch of rubber ducks on Amazon and write free Karen Reed all over rubber ducks all over the country. That could be our version of a standout. Because what are the cops going to do here in Indiana? New York, or, well, Illinois, people like that. There's nothing they could do about that. I just think it would be kind of cool for all this to kind of have like a rubber ducky parade all over the country. Are we going to get arrested? No.
I mean, you might. The people in Canton didn't think they were going to get arrested, but
Well, no, but they're in Canton. Nobody in Indianapolis is going to do shit. I have to, where I live, you could basically have the, half-rotten corpse laid in my front yard before the cops show up. They sure as heck ain't going to show up for a daggone duck.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, do your thing, man. Yeah. If you feel like it'll catch on from Indiana, man, kill it.
Oh, just wait for Halloween night, man.
Okay.
Jim McCabe's gonna get a special shout out.
Okay.
I'm just saying, long term, far reaching. I think that'd be kind of cool. For all of us to send ducks out and just free Karen Reed on the bottom of the duck. Leave it on a bench. I mean, I'm not saying we should dump a dump truck of rubber duckies, but I mean, that would just kind of prove a point. People in other states don't give a shit. Cops don't give a shit if you put free Karen Reed on the bottom of a duck, and they don't give a shit.
Well, where are you
But
gonna?
in Canton, they would.
Where are you gonna put them?
Well, randomly, just on a bench, on a windowsill. I mean, we could put them anywhere.
Okay. Well, right on. All right. I'm going to take the next caller. Thank you, Nikki, so much. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye.
You too. Bye. All right. The Ducky movement. Pamela Haas gifted 10 memberships. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Call from the Scenic Pit.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Ken Mello's ball sack.
Ken,
how you doing, man?
What's up, Ken Mello's ball sack? I can smell you from here.
Hey, Will, when you were up here, did you have a chance to go by 34 Fairview?
I did the first time I went up there, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I have one question for you.
Okay.
Are you amazed at how small the front yard was?
Yeah.
Compared to the pictures that we see?
It wasn't that I was amazed about it. I was amazed that people tried to say that they didn't see a body out there.
Yeah.
That's what I found amazing.
Dude, I've been watching from afar. I've watched you. I've called in a couple of times before. I've talked to you. Not under Ken Mello's ball sack, but under a different name because I'm trying to stay anonymous. But I found myself out in Canton this past weekend on Sunday, and I drove by for the first time, and I could not believe how small that front yard is compared to the pictures that we have all seen through this whole thing. There's no way that people pulled out of that parking lot and went down Fairview Road and did not see John O'Keefe's body there.
I agree.
There's no way. No way.
I agree.
I implore anybody that is in the area or whatever. I mean, be respectful.
Yeah.
Drive down that road.
Just drive on quietly by. Don't make any noise. Yeah. Don't disturb the owners or any of the neighbors.
100%. Yep. Yeah. I was very careful when I went by there. I had Google Maps on, and it took me by, and I was absolutely amazed. It's got to be 50 feet, if that, I'm not good with measurements and all that stuff, but that front yard is friggin' tiny, dude. Tiny.
Yeah, I know.
And when I went, my first time by this past Sunday, I was absolutely amazed at how small it is from the curb to the front door, from the curb to the side door over by the garage, and to the driveway. It's tiny, absolutely tiny.
Yeah.
But I just, people see the pictures. Like I was watching a couple of shows tonight, you included. Yeah, I think you showed a picture of it earlier. It does not look anything like you see in pictures. Even when Coffin Laugher, when she was there and took that picture, or her video,
got caught on camera. He got caught on camera. Running
it's
away.
insane how small it is. Yeah, there's no way that
That
no one would
footage,
have
like just
seen-
thinking about it, makes me laugh.
Yeah, it definitely does. All right, man. I'll let you get back to your show. Great show. Keep doing what you're doing.
All
I love your
right.
shirt, by the way. What can you show us the rest of that shirt?
Oh, that's just that's scene from Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great shirt, dude.
Thanks,
All right.
man.
All right, man. We'll see you.
All right, take care.
We'll see you.
Call from
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
This is Dana.
Hi, Dana.
Hi. I'm in Wisconsin. How are you?
Okay, Wisconsin. I'm doing well.
Cool. So the reason for my call is I myself have been through a whole bunch of crap where I live, and there's so many similar things that happen in our community here when I spoke up against the corrupt local officials. And I recently have been listening to a few of the speakers. Is their name Jen?
Yeah.
Well, people who've been having the balloons thrown at them and the balloons.
Yeah. Jen was just
Yeah.
on I think it was Resistant to Silence just the other night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I heard her. And she had been talking about like the effects on her kids, or like,
Sure.
if she speaks out, how many problems there might be. And I just want to let everybody out there that's fighting the good fight know that it takes a while to grow that alligator skin. It took me the first couple of years. I've been embroiled in litigation for 10 years now. And the levels local officials that are corrupt will go to are absolutely insane. My family's harassed. We continue to be harassed almost daily.
That
and
sucks.
It's a fight. It
Yeah.
sucks. It's unacceptable.
Fucking terrible.
Go ahead.
That's why I'm like, how can you trash these people? You're sitting there and Sue O'Connell to sit up there and trash these people. I'm like, you realize the shit that these people go through? They're very public. Like, they're not even anonymous people. Rita's not anonymous. Jen's not anonymous, and they're standing up for their town, and they're putting up with a lot of shit.
Yeah, they want him to be quiet. They want him to go away.
And to sit there and act like, yeah. And the fact that Sue O'Connell didn't even give Rita Lombardi any I want to say just respect, just simple respect. Like, just, the woman who was removed, I've spoken to many times. She seemed like a nice, something like that, at least a gesture. But she was just the woman who was ejected from the meeting. Like, what?
Right.
Really,
I
really
identify
infuriating
with
when I
that
think
so
about it.
much. It really is. Like, I think that all citizens should have input. And I mean, they do the same thing at the board meetings here. They'll give me like 30-second countdowns, and I'm totally ADHD. So it's like throws me, I'm like, oh my God, I got 2:30 left. Like, like, how do I get everything I want to say into this short little amount of time with them counting down? It's just absurd. And I wish that there was something in place to hold government officials more accountable, because the laws are only as good as those who enforce them. And God, am I afraid of those who are enforcing them right now. There's good ones out there, but not in my community. It's really hard. And I'll never forget listening to Karen Reed, and when she said, I just feel like we're trying to tell the whole world and nobody wants to hear me or hear us.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever happened to the truth? Whatever happened to integrity? Like, we're not asking for perfect. Like, I'm a combat veteran. I spent a year in Iraq. I was in
Oh,
a
wow.
terrible
Thank you
place
for your
when I was
service.
deployed. Oh, thank you. And it's like I come back home just to be treated like this. Like, it just kind of feels
Right.
gross.
Like well, think about it. You went off, you literally put your life on the line for not just your freedoms, but everyone else's freedoms, including the people who are giving you a hard time, and just to not be heard, to be gaslit, to be silenced. That's the ultimate
Reputation ruined in the community,
the
kicked out of
ultimate
businesses.
disrespect to a veteran. It's
Right.
terrible. I hate that that's happening to you.
And that's all we're trying to do here is the whole controversy arose because I purchased an abandoned quarry and I'm filling it with dirt, and we're using the proceeds to open up like a recreational therapy center for veterans, a place they can go for, camaraderie and whatnot. And here's this thing that could be good for the economy. It's good for the environment to restore an abandoned quarry, good for veterans. It's good all the way around, but God forbid I upset the local cronies and, whose pockets get padded. So
right.
I'm just, So I did start a YouTube channel and it's rough. I don't know how you guys do it, but
just keep at it. Just keep at it. That's the only thing I could tell you. The only advice I can give you is keep at it and make sure you stick to what you find to be something you're passionate about. People see through bullshit. Don't underestimate the viewers, and either they'll find you interesting or they won't. But
right. I find you super interesting.
Thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's the best
really
advice I can give you.
Yeah. So it's Local Wars Wisconsin. That's the name of it. So if you want to check it out sometime, you might be a little bored, but hopefully we're going to get going better. And
what is it called?
Local Wars Wisconsin.
Local Wars Wisconsin. Right on. Okay. Make sure to subscribe to Local Wars Wisconsin, guys.
It's a little rough right now, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. Go easy on her. She's a beginner. All right. I'm going to take the next caller.
You will. Thank you. Yep.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for your service. And thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Bye. Oh, Andrea gifted 5 memberships. Oh my God. Yeah, man, it's wild, man. That's another thing. It's just like the amount of problems that are becoming more and more apparent around the country just from having attention on this case it's crazy. It's wild. Like, this is fucking wild. Yeah, I'm really disappointed in Sue O'Connell. Very disappointed. She had me. She had me. Her tweets, everything, I was like, right on. Now it's, I hate to use the word snowflake, but it's like, like, really, you're focused on people calling each other names. You're not, isn't that a little, when it comes, in comparison to corruption, local corruption, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think that people not insulting each other is going to get people further? Like, people are insulting each other now because it's gotten to that point. All the stuff that you suggested was already done. The fact that you're overlooking that it was already done is insulting.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Catherine White.
Hi, Catherine White.
I'm calling from Arizona.
Okay.
I've been watching this case for a while, since like the center of the court hearing. A friend of mine told me about it. And what's going on in Boston, I mean, I've seen the police here in Arizona do a fantastic job on doing their investigations. And what the Campton cops are, the Decky stupid thing, that's ridiculous. Arresting people for
Yeah, it is.
checking.
It is.
That
It's weird. Like investigating it to arrest people is almost more absurd. You know what I mean? Like actually putting the resources towards like going around and finding clues that lead to the big rubber ducky culprit is amazing to me. I can't fucking believe that that's happening.
Yeah, it is. It is pathetic. I wanted to go to the stand out here in Arizona, but unfortunately I had to work.
Okay.
But they it needs to end. Enough's enough. You know what I mean? It's just so stupid.
Yeah, it is. Everybody here totally agrees with you. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just pathetic. I feel bad because I can't do anything because I'm single and I work and I just make enough money to um pay my bills. I don't even have enough money to buy food.
Well,
and these characters that's making $200,000 a year doing these poor ass sorry about that.
Well, the fact that you're calling in from Arizona is showing people that it's getting attention everywhere. So you are doing something. So don't sell yourself short. You know, nobody here expects you to take hard-earned money that you can't really afford to give. Don't worry about that. The fact that you are paying attention and you're talking about it, you know, if you got a job and you're talking to coworkers about it, that's a good thing. You know, you are
Oh
doing
yeah,
something.
I talk about it all
You
the
are doing
time
something.
at work. And I think they're getting tired. And then when I told them about Ricky and the Birchmore,
Right.
they're like, "What is going on there?"
Right. Yeah, it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like it's an unbelievable thing. Like I'm telling you, like you know, if you're one of these high society people, you know, like
Oh yeah.
yeah, like we're not me and you, but if we're you know, if you're one of these high society people who hangs around and you're like Truman Capote at a party drinking martinis and shit, bring it up, talk about it. You know what I mean? Like you'll get people going. You know, there's no way that you
Right.
won't be the life of the party if you're talking about this fucking story, dude. Like,
Yeah, my son-in-law.
there's no way.
Yeah, my son-in-law. I told him about the Karen Reed trial, and he stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning last night watching it. I go, "You're just beginning.
Yeah, I'm
There's a
telling you.
whole bunch."
Because I mean, if you're really paying attention, you're looking at it and going, "Is this real life? This fucking
I
happened?"
know.
No, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
All right,
But you know,
I'm gonna
I think that
I'm gonna take the next
real quick.
caller. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that it's been a long time and stuff like that, but enough's enough. They need to let Karen Reed go, Turtle Boy, and stop the insaneness.
Right. Agreed. Agreed. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. That's a nice caller. All right. I got time for one, maybe two more calls.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Missy.
Hi, Missy.
Is this Will?
It is.
Okay. I heard 2 days ago from Sean McDonough. The first thing is he had a lady on called Olivia. I don't remember her last name.
Yeah.
And she 100% said that Jen McAlbert definitely did that search, which I didn't already know. I knew that because of Celebrate. And in the United States, Celebrate is number one. I mean, there's no debating it.
Right.
You don't even need, I think the Supreme Court, you don't even need, oh, I'm sorry, I've been up all night. You don't even need, God, hello. You don't even need to
Take your time.
say someone on the stand that, you know, it's, I'm sorry, it's 100%. That's all you need. Celebrate. Number two, she said that John O'Keefe at 6:15 was put in the ambulance.
Okay.
Jen McAlbert said that she made another phone call at 6:24 or 6:25, something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
So therefore, that was a lie, right?
I mean, I'm not.
Why
I'd have
didn't
to
the
look more.
defense?
Hold on. Give me
What?
a second. Here we go. It's 6:24. Like I've got her
Yeah.
call log record right here.
Right.
6:20. At 6:23, she had an outgoing call to Brian Albert, and it was deleted.
Okay.
And it was not answered.
Okay.
Right. And then she does an internet search right there at that same minute. How
Okay.
long does it take to digest food?
Right. She
And
said
then in the
Karen
same minute,
said that.
then in the same minute says how long to die in cold.
Right. Which was
So,
full.
So the question is, was she trying to call Brian Albert right in front of Karen Reed? Would Karen Reed say that she tried to call Brian Albert right in front of her?
Right. And I don't believe for 1 second that Karen Reed is a liar. Number two,
I agree.
why did not the defense, talk about that from 6:15 that he was put in the ambulance, and that then again she said that. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't.
Or I never heard that.
I don't either. But I really appreciate you calling. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and take the next caller. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. You're on. You're on. Who am I speaking with? You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's up, Will? It's Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
How's it going, brother?
It's going good, brother.
I missed you when you came up last.
Oh, I missed you too, Patrick.
Ah, man, that would have been so dope if I got to meet you.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
So I was oh man, I just so I just sent some duct tour passes to D&E and to the Canton Police Department.
Take your time.
Oh, man. I'm gonna get so screwed. I sent duck tour passes.
You said duck
to the-
tour passes to D&E Pizza?
in the Canton Police Department. I just did it when I was on the phone with you, dude. Like right while I was listening, I couldn't help it.
Oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ, dude.
Man, I just
Are there duck tours in Canton? I know they had them on South Beach. Because
No.
like, and they even get in the water. They're like amphibious.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Do
Yeah,
they
they
have
do.
them in Boston?
Yeah, they have them in Boston. Yeah, so I just go right from the Science Museum.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would take a duck tour. I never been on a duck tour.
But I wanted to send like, because you can send like a T-shirt with it and everything. I didn't want to do that.
Oh, Patrick's a clown, bro. This guy. Oh my God.
I looked at my son. I said, "Fuck this."
He's got kids. Patrick procreated.
He was like, "What?" And I told him he's gonna spit his cereal out.
Oh my God.
So now that I spent $143,
I can't believe you did that. You are not teaching your son basic economics, my friend. This is not a smart investment.
No,
I
it's
hope you
not.
told him.
It's not.
Son,
The funny,
when you get $143, don't do what I'm doing right now, which is trolling people.
I couldn't help it, dude. I was like, it's like go and drop off a big duck. I'll get it. If I, do something, you know what I mean? It just, so you can write a little note on there that says like, happy birthday, what it is, blah, blah, blah. This has been paid for by, counterfeit cash. Well, I'm calling.
With this motherfucker. Oh my God, dude, you're too much, man. You are too fucking much.
I was fucking crying when I was doing it.
That's how I was when I bought tickets to see Corey Feldman, and I was all drunk, and then I was like, fuck. I sobered up. Like I was laughing hysterically when I did it. And then like I called Ticketmaster and got a refund because I felt bad. I was like, I don't want to go. Like the poor guy's trying to sing. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go trash the guy, man. That's messed up. And buy tickets just to heckle this motherfucker. That's shitty.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I was cracking up the whole time I was doing it.
He's on tour with Fred Durst.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're best buddies.
Actually, I went to see him with my two sons. And he's not bad. His band really sucks, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you went to see him, you'd be entertained by him, but it's just that his band really sucks.
Okay. All right. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, and I'm gonna close the phone lines. Great last caller. Thanks for calling, buddy. I appreciate you.
You're welcome,
dude.
brother.
It was fantastic.
Hope to see you soon in Boston.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, that is fun stuff. Fun stuff. I think the best thing I ever did was open these phone lines. Oh man, you guys are absolutely fantastic, man. I had a great time today. Listen, I got a 12-hour stream in the works. I'm psyching myself up for it. I'm still setting things up I haven't decided exactly what day I'm gonna do it. And
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got.
yeah, I totally got an ab workout out of that. Thank you, Shock and Horror. Appreciate it. Oh my god, man. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Patrick dude was fucking hilarious. I honestly I caught like maybe 30% of everything he was saying, but him laughing, I just it tugged at my heartstrings because I know exactly. I'll tell you guys a quick story. There was one time I went to a 4th of July party. I was in this band, and our guitarist and friend threw a 4th of July party at his in-laws' house. Great people, awesome. They do it every year, and it's really fun. And everybody's playing volleyball. It's like your typical, atypical, like what you would picture a successful 4th of July party to be like, right? And somehow it got to a point in the night where a lot of people left, but the people who lived there, they all left. Like some of them went to go get Taco Bell, some of them went to go get more alcohol. But me and my friend that I've known since I was, 15, he and I, and we had our first apartment together. We're friends to this day. And he and I decided, like, it wasn't even my idea. I actually am kind of ashamed that I wasn't the one to think of it. But Yellow, thank you so much. 12 hours of doing the super chat dance. Right. Exactly. Hopefully. But yeah, so we're sitting there and we're wasted drunk, like just hammered drunk. We had been drinking all day. And it was like already like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And we're sitting in that living room after like people walked out, and my buddy goes, "Did they just leave me and you alone here?" And I was like, "They totally did." Now, of course, like we're not thieves. We're not going to steal anything or anything. The next thing that comes out of my man's mouth goes, "Let's rearrange the furniture." Never could you get me to do it's a chore, like unless I'm doing it to troll somebody. That's the only way that you're ever going to get me to do work like that for the sake of, I mean, that's the only way you're ever going to get me to do manual labor like that is if it's at someone's expense. You know, whatever. Midnight Mike, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. So the whole time we were doing it, like we totally rearranged the entire living room. We took all of the furniture. Some of it we pulled out to the yard so that we could move other things. We moved an armoire. We moved everything around in a matter of like 10 minutes. That just sat there. And our guitarist was the first one to come back. And he sat down on the chair and he goes, "This was over there." And you can see him thinking about it, like, because he's so drunk. You know, he's like, "Was it over there? Am I crazy? Did I?" He just sat there. But the entire time, like, but my buddy's like I'm laughing so hard. He's like, "Dude, hurry up." And I'm like, "Hold on a second." And I'm laughing so hard the whole time. Like this guy telling me the story as he's laughing and ordering duck tour shit for TNT pizza. That shit. And I picture him laughing. I've never seen the guy in my life, but I picture him laughing hysterically as he's doing it. And you know he's drunk. If he's not drunk, I don't know what to tell the guy. The poor guy. I don't get help. But that's just good old fashioned fun. Not that I encourage it, but I felt that shit in my soul. I felt it in my core. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. You guys were fantastic. I loved hanging out with you guys. Thank you guys. Please hit the like if you haven't already. Make sure the now Turtle Boys Defense Fund is pinned at the top. If you're feeling generous, please click on that and donate. Even just whatever the smallest amount, whatever you could spare, because he's gonna need it. Karen Reed as well. Her defense fund link is in the description. Sometimes I post it in the chat too. But it is in the description. So if you're feeling generous, please feel free to help them out because they're going to need it. They got a long fight ahead of them. And we're here for it. So guys, thank you guys to all the new subscribers. It means the world to me that you guys actually dig this shit. So I'm really glad. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys to all my diehards. I appreciate all of you. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Seriously. And I'm blown away each time by how cool you guys are and how amazing you guys are. I love you guys very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.